spectacular, old-fashioned scenes that probably would never be shot today. And it's a classic, and I'll never forget it. And I have great feelings about it. Oh, that's coming. Plus, President Dog Turd Brain is down in Texas, and coming up right after a little cowabunga here shortly, we're going to play for you some comments of the person representing the United States of America reacting to our Georgia co-ed nursing student, Laken Riley. And by the way, I heard some inside information on this being a much worse case than we've been told. It'll come out sometime, but what I've been told is that this is even worse than you think. And how they reacted to that, freaking disgraceful. Absolutely freaking disgraceful. Coming up in a couple of minutes. Also, Donald Trump's down there as well. More court cases against him. He's appealing things. Supreme Court's going to... Yeah, my friends, in the next few weeks, there are now 3 very important cases before the United States Supreme Court, which will determine the future of American politics, and it's all centered on Donald Trump. This one man is going to have more influence on American politics and political law than anyone in the history of the country when all is said and done. They're going to determine these major issues.
Maureen O'Hara was in The Quiet Man. Maureen O'Sullivan was Tarzan's wife.
Right,
the old Johnny Weissmuller.
That's what it was.
And who's her daughter? Who's Maureen O'Sullivan's daughter?
Oh, I used to know this, and I can't remember.
Mia Farrow.
Oh, that's right. Oh, my God, cool. All right, I got to write that down. It's Maureen O'Hara, right? Maureen O'Hara. Yeah, not O'Sullivan. Okay. I got it's 3:14. I'll do better. I'm floundering like crazy. A lot of great stuff coming up, including the Border Patrol that says, "Hey, President Dipstick, how about shove it and leave us alone? Dirty, stinking rat, I'd run you in right now." Oh, I could have misquoted him. It's coming up. 3:14. Repeat and flounder.
Atlanta radio legends collide on XTRA 106.3. The legend Neil Boortz is live every week with Atlanta legend The Kimmer. Because when you get these two guys together, who knows where we'll end up?
I am shocked. Well, not that shocked.
The Kimmer is live on your drive home every weekday afternoon from 3 to 6. And now Neil Boortz joins this show every week. And if you miss it, catch up anytime on the XTRA 106.3 app.
Witness the new era of Georgia Tech men's basketball under the guidance of their new head coach, NBA great Damon Stoudemire. Coach Stoudemire has brought the excitement back to the Thriller Dome, and you can be a part of it. Don't miss the next home game presented by R.S. Andrews when Florida State visits McCamish Pavilion on Saturday, March 2nd at noon. Great seats are still available for purchase, and you can get more information at ramblinwreck.com. Hurry up and grab your tickets to experience the thrill and excitement of Georgia Tech basketball. Sting 'em.
I think it's time to get rid of that old, ugly garage door.
Get rid of it? All it needs is a quick repair. Where's my duct tape and WD-40?
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors, and let us be the ones to tell you if you need a repair or a replacement. If you have a wooden or uninsulated steel door, a replacement will always pay for itself with energy savings. But if your door is insulated and not very old, put down the duct tape and let us come out to service your door the right way. Head to allfourseasonsgarages.com or give us a call today.
What's your retirement plan? Master Plan Retirement Consultants specialize in constructing plans designed to meet the challenges you could face over the course of a retirement. As holistic retirement planners, we cover tax, income, Social Security, legacy, healthcare, and long-term care planning. Our strategies are designed to maximize your retirement savings and income while minimizing taxes and protecting your assets from forces that could disrupt your retirement, providing peace of mind. A fiduciary advisory firm, Master Plan Retirement, works with you to create the potential for a sustainable retirement and a legacy to be remembered. Join us on our weekly radio show, Retirement Roadmap, every Saturday at 12 p.m. on XTRA 106.3 as we discuss retirement topics for today's financial environment. Episodes can also be found on YouTube and on your podcast platform. Find us at masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation. Master Plan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are or affiliated companies.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Greetings. Naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black here, founder of Rough Greens. You know, about 40 years ago, I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. The doctors told me there was nothing they could do. Nothing. I needed to go home and get my affairs in order. Well, I decided to take a different track and ultimately became a naturopathic doctor for now over 20 years. I'm also a world-class dog lover, and I know that lots of dogs suffer with digestive problems, itching and scratching, low energy, achy joints, bad breath, you name it, they suffer from it. And research showed me that dog food is dead food. So I formulated Rough Greens with specific vitamins and minerals, probiotics, antioxidants, omega oils, all the stuff your dog needs. Just sprinkle on a little bit of Rough Greens. It's easy. My dogs and I are so convinced they can help your dog, we're offering a free Jumpstart trial bag. All you have to do is cover the shipping. Don't ever give up on your health or on your dog's health. Order your free Jumpstart trial bag at roughgreens.com. That's ruffgreens.com.
TV stars playing singers. Excuse me. The young generation, all right. Wow, back in the 60s. 2012 on this day, Davy Jones, the Manchester-born lead singer of the Monkees from the 60s, died at age 66. In his sleep in Florida, suffered a massive heart attack. Davy Jones also appeared as a teenager in soap opera Coronation Street, playing Ina Sharple's grandson, also a former apprentice jockey in London or in England. Davy Jones remained a keen horseman all his life, winning his first race in England as a jockey in 1996. Good grief, like 30 years after he was singing on TV every weekend. Wow. Birthday, very few, it's leap day, leap year, 29, February 29th, and there are very few birthdays aboard on this day. One of them is Tony Robbins. Well, I'm just not very few birthdays of note that are on our history and birthday list. I should point that out. Of course, a lot of people. Tony Robbins, 64, motivational goon. Oh my goodness, here's what Flounders Guy says. Motivational goon who hypnotized Jack Black in Shallow Hal. Well, I never saw any of that, so I have no idea. Take your word for it. And on this day in history, 1940, Gone with the Wind won 8 Academy Awards, including Best Picture of 1939, and Hattie McDaniels, the first black actor, male or female, to win an Academy Award, an Oscar, in 1940 on this day. It's 3:20, by the way, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going? Our 3 o'clock hour brought to you by our good friends at First Liberty Building and Loan. If you need financing to grow your business, visit firstlibertyga.com. You'll be glad you did. 404-741-1230. 404-741-1230. Oh, unbeknownst to me, we had our contest. Thank you. Well, that settles everything. We don't have to have any more arguments about it. Now, see, that's probably the easiest thing. You don't just get in there. You guys get together and tell me what the hell you got going. All right, just give me the answer and everybody will be happy. I don't have to worry about it.
You're so pretty.
Yeah, I'm so pretty. Yeah, keep talking.
You're so pretty.
Yeah, well, I don't see you with your shirt off. Anyway, our winner of our tickets to go see Jordan B. Peterson is Tracy, the Roswell Tracy's. Tracy from Roswell. The Roswell Tracy's made that.
What was the answer?
I don't know what the question was. How am I supposed to know the answer? Flounder says, here's your winner. I said, wait a minute, what? We did the contest?
Where do most people eat on Leap
All right,
Day?
well, what would you say is the answer? I have no idea.
IHOP
for Leaping Hot. See what I mean? Why not the Leaning Tower of Pizza? You know, it could have been a boom, bomb. It could be leaning and pizza, a food and a lean.
What does leaning got to do with Leap Day?
Leaping and leaning. You're leaning. You're off back. You're changing direction of your body. See, it could be a million things.
That's why we don't put you in charge of the contest.
Well, it's probably better for everybody. Asshole. 322.
What was that?
We can use half syllables. Mister. Oh, God. All right, we got news. We got actual news. You're going to hear from the podium princess here in a second. Sorry. By the way, thanks a lot for. I thought we could have that visual of me yesterday taking off my shirt in the studio. I thought that was good. I thought that would be good. You know, was out there and then it was gone. That's really. And so, well, it's really not. I'm almost freaking 80. So and so I'm getting getting videos of these girls calling in, videos of them throwing up. Now, that's really come on. I had one woman who texted me and said, thank God she saw that because she's going to stop cheating on her husband. And the reason is that if he ever caught her and threw her out, she'd have to end up dating guys like me if she had nobody left. You know, I mean, geez, hey, come on. Oh, hey, look out. A break. 3:23. My God. By the way, we'll have Neil Boortz on with us at 4 o'clock, right? Flounder, that's still good, right? Okay, at 4 o'clock. And I think he's traveling. I think he's actually on the road, so Lord knows where he's pulled over. He may tell us his time. Instead of being a little snotty little... Oh, sorry. What?
I'm giving you trouble today because I'm angry with you.
Well, what did I do? I didn't do anything. Oh, it's your birthday? I know your birthday. I always miss your birthday, and you're not going to have a good birthday again from us because Flounder and I aren't doing squat. How about that?
You've got me eating something that you talked about, and now I'm hooked on it. The damn popcorn chicken.
I tell you what,
and
man.
Mashed potatoes, gravy, and corn.
Mother. And you can even get the gravy in those Heinz bottles, that brown gravy in the Heinz bottles. It's delicious. And it's easy. And I used to make my own and I've got like 10 packs and I make them. And I realized, oh my God, this is pretty damn good. I put it in a little bowl, about a third of those little jars, put it in a little bowl and heat it up for 19 seconds and it's hot gravy over. Ooh. And the popcorn chicken is, and by the way, you ought to try try it with, what do you call the little tiny potato dots? What do they call them? The dot potato, little round
tater tots.
Tater tots. Ore-Ida makes a really good bag of tater tots. They have spicy or plain or whatever, and they all go in the what do you call it? The flash fryer? What do you call it? The heat oven?
Air fryer.
Air fryer. 8 minutes, 400 degrees, bing bang, pow. You put gravy over all of it. Oh my lordy.
Good.
I can't stop it every night. I can't stop. On the way home, I start getting excited. Think I'm really going to enjoy this. It's the little things. When I walk in the door in the dark and say, honey, I'm home, I'm talking to my dinner. 8 minutes away. What a pathetic piece of crap. I'm not a man. Oh, God, I'm not a man.
Can you imagine your 17-year-old self seeing you? This is how it ends, buddy. This is the end.
Oh, pathetic. Oh, my God. All right. I guess we have to talk some newsy stuff or something. Lordy. Oh, this is hysterical. President Cowpie is in Texas at the border, but he's not really at the border that's going to show anything. He's at Camp Monument. Used to be a bustling center for Customs and Border Patrol. People processing the illegal sneak-ins entering the country in Brownsville. But there's nothing going on there now. They've cleaned it all out. There's nobody around. They got some wire fence panels and some, concertina wire laying around and stuff like that. But there's basically basically nobody there because there was a fence that went up, a 3-foot looping layer of concertina wire to prevent sneakers from getting in. Mexico is visible across the Rio Grande, but there are no signs of anyone trying to make the short crossing there because of the fence and stuff, which means fences work. So I hope to God some reporter saying, Mr. President, you can see that there's nobody trying to get in here. I guess fences really work, huh? How come you tried to stop it? You know, kind of stuff like that. But, of course, they're not going to do that. Let's see. Border crossings in Brownsville have dropped dramatically after Greg Abbott had miles of wire fencing installed. So we know why the White House picked Brownsville. He's going to show up. He showed up today, and it's going to be no problem. This is the ring where we need to intercede fund. You freaking idiot. He's going to brag about what a great job he did. And he's going to blame Donald Trump, who's going to be an Eagle Pass, where they're really having a problem. And that's where the video is going to be of what's going on where he is. This is incredible. And, of course, President Cowpie is going to call all of us rednecks, going to make political hay out of the basic routine of, he said, in fact, let's talk about the crime of the illegal immigrant lately that we're talking about, and that's Laken Riley. This is unbelievable. I got to get the full steer on my phone with the thing here. Oopsie, that's not it. Here we go. Oh, that's not it either. Oh, damn it. I think Flounder sent it to me. White House Press Secretary Javrin Trotine. She's black. She's gay. She's a girl. She's got 3 check marks. Oh, my God. Yes, Shirley Temple was being interviewed in a guest appearance on CNN. And here's what she said about the horrible tragedy they're so upset about when she was asked about Laken Riley.
A horrific loss for any family, and obviously if whoever is found guilty, we need to make sure that happens. And obviously, we don't want to see anything happen like that again. But here's the thing: we have done the work to make sure we're dealing with a broken immigration system. The Republicans have gotten in the way. They have gotten in the way, and that's what we continue to see over and
I can't take this. You dirty, rotten liar. My God. She says, well, whoever might be responsible. Holy crap. If that guy had been wearing a MAGA hat and a Trump Forever T-shirt or something, you guarantee she would have identified exactly who he was. And instead, whoever was responsible. And then she says, but, that Donald Trump and the Republicans have been blocking us, though. Are you serious? I mean, this is, again, it's the big lie they just keep repeating, and all those empty-headed liberals are going to say, yeah, boy, you're right. Those damn Republicans are responsible for all of this. Holy crap. If you're not offended by that comment and what she and the entire attitude of this administration, this is how they think of us. This is how they think. Okay, I'm not a Trump nut. I don't like Trump. He's not my kind of guy. He wouldn't be my good friend. I wouldn't want to play golf with him more than once just to do it, but he's not my kind of guy. But he's one of the greatest presidents we've ever had. He has such a great ego. All he wants to do is be the best president ever. He cares about helping the country. My God. And they just, everything is exactly reversed. God, this makes me mad. Oh, by the way, the Border Patrol says, Border Patrol Union, today, as President Cowface was coming down there, they said, keep our name out of your mouth. And these are the guys who work down there under the scumbag. What a country. President White Trash and his crew. And where's our border czar? Some czar. She made a mistake and went to Guatemala for a festival. 3:30, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Good Lord. Honestly.
Start your day the right way with Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra.
Dan Goldman came out. This is a representative out of New York. This is the man who went up during the Biden impeachment trials going, there's no evidence, there's nothing. The same exact speech, you could actually take it almost word for word. When he came out of this with Mayorkas, was the same thing. There's no evidence.
The border being wide-ass open.
No evidence whatsoever.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on XTRA 106.3 FM and the XTRA app.
So, Robert, I want to thank you for your time. I just don't think you're the right person for this position.
I don't understand. Was it something I said?
Well, we did a background check on you and found some things of concern.
If you're in charge of hiring for your company, you know how helpful a background screening can be. That's why companies that use Horizon background screening make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com. horizonscreening.com.
You shouldn't need a degree in finance to choose a checking account. That's why we made Truist One Checking. No trade-offs, no compromise, no hassle. Just the stuff you want from a bank that cares. And that means no overdraft fees, lots of practical perks, and automatic upgrades. Truist One Checking. One simple choice. Visit truist.com/one. Truist.com/ONE. Truist Bank, member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly, Cobb's premier lifestyle magazine, serving our community for nearly 20 years. We feature familiar faces, local voices, and community businesses. Our Town Monthly is a direct mail publication, bringing community news to the mailbox of your potential customers. If you're a business owner looking to grow sales and build your brand, let us help. We have a robust portfolio of advertising and marketing products to showcase your business. Reach out. Let's chat. And if you're one of our valued readers, thank you for being part of the Our Town community. I hope you find our magazine entertaining, informative, and a great resource. Our contributors are a talented group working hard to provide engaging content. If you love our free magazine, please support our advertisers. They make it all possible and are eager to help earn your business. There's so much going on in Our Town. Don't miss out. Find us online at ourtownmonthly.com. And remember, Our Town is your town at Our Town Monthly.
Pure Talk believes in American values and that free should mean exactly that. Free. Switch to Pure Talk today and get a free Samsung 5G smartphone. No 4-line requirement, no activation fees, just a Samsung that's built to last with a rugged screen, quick charging battery, and top-tier data security. Qualifying plans start at just $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, 15 gigs of data, and mobile hotspot. Pure Talk will connect you to the most dependable 5G network in America for half the price of Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile. The average family saves almost $1,000 a year. Let Pure Talk's expert U.S. customer service team help you make the switch today. Just dial pound 250 and say keyword Pure Talk and claim your eligibility for your free brand new Samsung 5G smartphone and start saving on wireless today. Again, from your phone, dial pound 250 and say the keyword Pure Talk to switch to Pure Talk today.
I remember this song. It's a Kimmer era rock and roll, baby. I love the time. Well, the Beatles started it. Yeah. Dave Clark 5. My Bits and Pieces, Glad All Over was a huge #1 single. Dave Clark 5. And on 2008, on this day, Mike Smith, the lead singer, died from pneumonia in Buckinghamshire, Buckinghamshire, England, at the age of 64. The Dave Clark 5 had 19 British top 40 hits. Bits and Pieces, Ain't Glad All Over. The band broke up in the 70s and more than 100 million records and recorded 23 albums. And people thought they were the Beatles. I mean, this was a Beatles sound-alike band.
No, they didn't.
Well, no, I'm telling you. Okay, I lived through it. Now, you were like 9, so you don't know squat.
I wasn't 9.
You were
I was 4.
Yeah, 4. But even worse, you don't know anything about the Dave Clark 5. I'm telling you that when you went to a record hop, a sock hop, do you even know? You've ever heard the phrase sock hop, Flounder? You have any,
yes, I have.
Oh, my God.
Like a dance, right?
It's a dance, that's right. Sock hop, rock, and what? Wait, hell, I forgot what I said. Anyway, and they started playing, and this was, was the Beatles and the Dave Clark 5, and the Animals. I mean, these were all kind of the same kind of group. Anyway, all right, that was our little thing on
the Animals. Dave Clark.
I don't know. I know. All right, House of the Rising Sun. It just slipped in there. It came out by on its own. I didn't even plan it. No, they're really going to make fun of me in the morning. My God, man. Well, it gives them something to talk about. That way they don't have to actually plan anything or do any, show prep. We got video. They come in like 8 minutes before 6. It's unbelievable. Anyway, 3:50. And that's good, though. I'm really, honest to God, I wish I could do it. Sorry. I'm in no voice. You're going to really get me tomorrow. Oh, it's beautiful morning, bastards. 3:36. Again, like, got 3 birthdays out here. It's incredible because it's the 29th of February. Leap Day. Ja Rule. Do we know who that is? Ja Rule is 48. Is that a rap guy? I don't know. Flounder, who's Ja Rule? I
think it's pronounced. I think they pronounce it Ja Rule.
Ja Rule.
I think he's a rapper.
It's a guy. Okay, all right. I thought it might have been a hot babe. And on this day in history, in 1692, local police in Salem, Massachusetts, arrested with warrants Sarah Good, Sarah Osborne, and Tituba, a female slave from South America. Salem, Massachusetts, this day, 1692, the start of the Salem witch trials. If she drowns, she's not a witch. Yay! She's, gee, maybe we should have done it the other way. I don't know. I think they used to do that. Well, throw her in the water. If she drowns, she's innocent.
It was something like if you're a duck,
yeah.
If you float, then you're a duck.
You're a duck, yeah. Shoot her. Jesus. I mean, my God, man. 3:37. Okay. Flounders Funny's coming up. We got Pete's Tweets. We got Holy Crap at Sports. We got Neil Boortz at 4 o'clock. We'll go goof from him for a while because that's kind of fun. He's on the road somewhere. A couple quick things. I did a little bit of the board thing. Just, this was amazing. And they're actually, you can actually hear people saying things like this. The President Dog Turds campaign, the campaign actually issued a statement, an official statement from a guy, a Democrat in California. And they talk concerning the murder of our 22-year-old nursing student, Layden Riley. And the Biden campaign issued a release on Laken Riley saying, organized by his re-election campaign, it's not true. Donald Trump is out here saying that we are poisoning the blood of this country, and the facts actually don't bear that out. Immigrants, they say, by and large, are committing less crime. And they're now complaining that it is racist to suggest that illegal sneak-in racist crime is rising after the murder of the nursing student Laken Riley, and they blasted Donald Trump for, quote, poisoning the blood of the country with his rhetoric. Are you serious? It's racist to complain about illegal sneak-ins who are not white murdering American citizens. That's racist? You dirty bastard. Representative Robert Garcia, California. Go to hell. What a disgrace. Trump is out there saying we're poisoning the blood. Well, you are poisoning the blood. My God. I mean, this is just absolutely freaking outrageous. Their new platform by the new slogan for the Trump, for the Joe Cowpie campaign, Immigrant Lives Matter. Yes, Immigrant Lives Matter. So let's get all the companies to support that one for them, too. Okay, shall we? 3:39. Oh, just another quick update on this whole topic. There's now, I think we kind of mentioned this earlier, just as a quick repeat, the Athens-Clarke County Sheriff, who used to be sheriff campaigning back in the day, I think we actually played some audio from this from the mayor. Well, we have some from the sheriff, too. A resurfaced video, 2020, shows candidate John Williams, now the Athens sheriff, the county sheriff, saying he would not cooperate with ICE, the Border Patrol people. Quote, it is not my intention to cooperate with detainers. I see it as the sheriff's responsibility to protect the community. We can't help with a culture of fear in our community and expect our community to respond and help us in situations. Building relationships is key, and if we're antagonizing people because they are undocumented, then they build that fear in them, and they're not likely to come to us. Not only when we need their help, but when they need our help. So that's not something that we'd be doing. We won't be doing any types of roundups. We won't be contributing to that culture of fear. We want people to respect the police, but we also want them to trust us. Yeah. So he says, no, we're not going to cooperate with ICE. We're not going to hold these people. That would be wrong. Yeah. That's your sheriff, Athens. Congratulations. Clark County. There you go. That's John Williams, baby. And then that idiot freaking mayor yesterday, good God. Yeah, you heard him getting yelled at. It's like, liar, resign. Because he admittedly has said, we need to welcome everybody into Athens. But the mayor, he didn't say it yesterday. He said it a long time ago. And he says, oh, no, we need everybody coming in here. We want everybody, no matter whether they're documented or not. So there you go. The sheriff and the freaking mayor are on the record. So is the prosecutor, by the way. In fact, the veteran DA, Athens Clark DA, Deborah Gonzalez, took herself off the case of prosecuting the scumbag who murdered our innocent little girl because she's such a liberal. She's decisions to not prosecute low-level drug offenses, mass departure of staff attorneys. They don't want to work. It's something like 40% of her staff keeps quitting because they hate her and she's a freaking woke liberal. And so they got this new hotshot prosecutor, Sheila Ross, to do the job, which is a good sign. And by the way, have you heard President Cowturd say anything mentioning the name of Laken Riley or what happened down here? Have you heard anything from our two United States senators of Georgia, thanks to Republicans not voting for the conservatives in our state, giving us two liberal senators? Senator Raphael Weifnacher was too busy sneaking out the back door to avoid process servers as a deadbeat dad, just practicing in case they show up again. He claims she was probably the victim of a white supremacist anyway, so there's nothing really to see here. And Senator John Ossoll agreed that anything that hurts Trump is constitutional, and he promises to come out with another of his amateur documentaries, which, remember, was what got him elected to the Senate in the first place as a documentary filmmaker with lots of Hollywood money tie strings. So that was what, again, that was his background. John Ossoll was a documentary maker.
Cody Alcorn is a reporter for 11 Alive, and a couple days ago, he went over there to the apartment complex where this guy supposedly was living. And says a neighbor of Laken Riley's accused killer says she was often seen going through the complex on her way to the trails. So he could have seen her walking through there several times and got fixated on her. Plus, he said that a lot of people there that lived in those apartments were packing up to move quickly.
I don't blame them. Both those two brothers have been arrested. I mean, they both got arrested for stealing, and they let him go. They keep letting him out, and now there's a murderer, apparently, allegedly. He did it. So sue me. Allegedly sue me.
And they're losing the argument, the Democrats, when they start throwing the word racist around.
Yeah, well, that's what they
calling names.
Yeah, that's what
when they've lost.
That's the last resort, and they never fail to use it. Think of anything you bring up. Oh, it's racism. Oh, my God. And by the way, 3:44 already. Holy cow. The Supreme Court, U.S. Supreme Court, is going to decide whether Donald Trump can be prosecuted for the whole nonsense of interfering with the election. And by the way, this is another course. Illinois now. And by this was amazing. This black girl, Illinois County Circuit Court Judge, Tracy Porter, who hates white people, hates Donald Trump, has now decided that Donald Trump committed an insurrection, so she has barred Illinois from putting Donald Trump on the ballot. Even though another court disqualified anybody from doing that, she's now has taken a step further, and she has now barred Donald Trump from being on the Illinois ballot 1 month after the anti-Trump challenge was dismissed by the Illinois Board of Elections. So they said, no, you can't keep him off the ballot. And she said, well, yes, I can. Well, Donald Trump's going to have to appeal that, too. They said, we'll quickly appeal it. I mean, it's just, again, they'll do anything they can. They're just, she said, well, he was engaged in insurrection. He's never been charged with insurrection, let alone convicted. And the last thing he said to the people was, make sure you go to the peaceful show them in a peaceful protest about how you feel. He used the word peaceful. God, they're mad because he didn't try to stop it. Oh, really? He's going to say, you want to cool it down now? The 18,000 of you just, I mean, what the hell, have transistor radios so they could hear him shouting from the balcony somewhere or something? My God. So there, I mean, it's freaking typical. 3:45. Oh, and by the way, this is hysterical, too. One quick thing before we go. In Delaware, a Superior Court judge has said, no, you don't. President Stupidface tried to pass his buddies pass a state law allowing 10 days of early voting and permanent absentee voting in Delaware. Permanent absentee voting in Delaware. Once you sign up, you can do it forever. Well, the state constitution says no. Actually, no. Again, these are the people. This is President Stupidface who launched rhetorical barbs at Georgia and other states being Jim Crow 2 or Jim Eagle, requiring voter IDs for mail-in voting. Georgia allows 3 weeks of early voting, but in Delaware, the judge said this is against the Constitution. It says general elections will be held biennially on the Tuesday next after the first Monday. So you can't be doing anything you want with permanent absentee balloting. God, those do anything to sneak in election victories. Holy crap. Well, even a Delaware judge says, oh, no, you don't. My God. 346, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Funny's coming up. Pete's tweets. And Neil Boortz at 4 o'clock, too. Look out. The legend Neil Boortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's the Kimmer. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
To make a good, sound, logical, reasonable choice in this election, you have to look past the next 4 years. Whether it's Joe Biden or Donald Trump, it's going to be a train wreck. You have to look past it at what Republicans might be able to do in the next election, what Democrats might be able to do, because I guarantee you it's not going to be two 80-year-olds running against each other again.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
If it's time to buy a new car, what are you looking for? Price? Sure, that's easy. Anyone can offer you a good price, but not everyone cares about your community as much as we do. At Subaru of Gwinnett, there's a lot to love. You'll love our staff, our service department, the entire experience. Because at Subaru of Gwinnett, it's about way more than buying a car. It's investing in your community and loving the people you do it with. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event, come in for a test drive and find great offers on the 2024 Subaru Outback or the model that best fits your lifestyle. And yes, we check a lot of boxes: safety, value, and of course, loving what you drive. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com and find the ride that best suits you. Learn about our incredible staff and find out how your next purchase will benefit your community. We promise you'll love it, because love is what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Subaru of Gwinnett, Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, and online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This weekend, it's GBI Special Prosecutor Diane McLeod, CEO of Reconnect Pete Andrews, and A Second Chance's own Daniel Madelon. Tune in on Saturday or find it online at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 770-627-3235 or online at atlbail.com.
Democracy 24.
Super Tuesday is less than a week away, where voters will go to the polls in 15 states: Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Maine, Massachusetts, Minnesota, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont, and Virginia. On the Republican side, 874 of 2,429 delegates will be up for grabs, including the two largest states: California with 169 delegates and Texas with 161. At least 1,215 delegates are needed to win the nomination at the Republican National Convention in July. It could take a while to get some of the voting results. California's mail-in ballots are valid as long as they're postmarked prior to Election Day and received by March 12th. Former President Trump is the frontrunner on the GOP side, leading former U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley. President Biden, the Democratic incumbent, is expected to be that party's nominee. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Da-da-dun-dun-dun. Sir Elton in the news here with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on your Thursday afternoon. I did not remember this story. On this day in the year 2000, Sir Elton John stormed out of the opening of his new Broadway musical show, Aida, or Ada, I guess, A-I-D-A, Ada. He stormed out of the opening. That's what I thought, but he did Aida? Elton John did a version of the famous Aida?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it was a Broadway musical show that he put on, and after 15 minutes, he complained his songs have been ruined. So, my God, wouldn't he have known that in rehearsals? I guess he never went to, I don't know, I don't believe any of this. It's so silly. Anyway, Elton John ticked off 24 years ago on this very day. Let's see. Birthdays list. I'm getting real low down here all of a sudden. I don't know why. Feel like smoking a pipe. I miss smoking a pipe. I have a picture of me somewhere in my phone of me as a young man working in radio, smoking a pipe with my mustache, no beard, and glasses. Anyway,
were you in a porno?
It looked like a porno. It looks like like Wally Cox or Mr. Peepers, or I'm just like geeky, nerdy, stupid.
Yeah, that's the look you were going for, Wally Cox. That's not too gay.
I can't believe I'm not a fairy. Well, I guess you can't say anything now. Although I have looked like one many times in my life. Anyway, 352. I'm losing it. Antonio Sabato. There are very few birthdays of note on Leap Day. they're just not. I looked in 8 places. Antonio Sabato Jr., 52. He was the Calvin Klein underwear model and Melrose Place guy. Antonio Sabato, 52. All right, well, I didn't really know anything about him. And let's see, on this day in history, 1960, the first Playboy Club with waitresses in bunny outfits opened in Chicago. Hugh Hefner closed the corporate-owned clubs in 1986, calling them passé. Funny that now even nudity is passé for Playboy. And every once in a while, it's either AMC or A&E or something, they have the Playboy the investigations of the Playboy mysteries and being a Playboy bunny, stuff like that. It's pretty weird. They get actually, it's pretty interesting because they get the girls who were the bunnies and they show them back when in 1963, 4, 5, whatever, and they show them today when they're 84 years old. And whew, wow, and the poor things, they did things to themselves that aren't going away, even though you're old. And I was at the Chicago Playboy Club doing an interview with Christy Hefner, his daughter. And I remember saying this a couple years ago that she was a handsome woman, very attractive, tall brunette woman, great figure, very professional, very standoffish, no sex appeal whatsoever, but a good-looking woman, real business-like. And she was talking about the future of the Playboy Club. This is like in the 80s. And I was impressed with her as a business-type woman, but man, she had no appeal for me as a man, I can tell you that. Not that I should be the Debbie. Anyway, I don't know, 354 here. By the way, guess what? Hunter Biden, you freaking coward thing. He did his testimony yesterday behind closed doors in Congress. And remember, he bitched and moaned when he first showed up and he got subpoenaed. He refused to honor the congressional subpoena, and they let him get away with it. He was never charged. He said, screw you. I want to do it all in public. I demand to do it in public. Remember that? All he wanted was do it in public so the public can see me. Well, he had his hearing yesterday, and some of the questions apparently got to him because they said, we're going to ask even more when you go public. And now he says, his lawyer says, well, you guys, the transcripts have been called to date, including Hunter's. It's obvious there's nothing left to ask. Just nothing to do here. The illegitimate inquiry here should have been ended long ago before their star witness was indicted. But now that Hunter's put his partisan conspiracy to the lie, it's on record under oath. This charade should finally come to an end. So they say, no, there's nothing to see here. We don't want Hunter to go public after all. Well, I'll be damned. I thought that's all they wanted. And the only possible reason that he does not want to go public is because you'd see it. We'd all see it. We'd all see him sitting there sweating when he said, gee, how do you explain the $6 million he got from that Chinaman? Come on. Good God. Anyway, so that's a story on Hunter's not going to be going to before. Oh, God, sorry. Oh, okay, Flounder, what do you got in there, man?
Saw a car changing lanes, driving like a maniac, cutting people off. But he got on my bumper, and he was irritated. He's flipping me off. I noticed he has a wedding ring on, and his wife's in the front seat. And at that moment, I got real confident. I'm flipping him off. I'm brake checking. I'm holding the windshield wiper fluid on. Is that your move? Yeah, very passive-aggressive. We're going about 10 miles an hour on the freeway at this point, and he won't pass me. Out of fluid, my exit's coming up, so I get off the freeway, and then he follows me right off the freeway. You were supposed to keep driving. What do? Well, I know this exit. There's a very large black homeless guy at the bottom with a sign that just said food. I aggressively drove toward him with this guy right on my bumper, slammed on my brakes to a dead stop so he's pinned behind me, can't get around. I roll my window down. I give the guy $20. I say, you need to go crazy on the car behind me. I swear, he doesn't even hesitate. Both hands on the hood, cocks his head, starts screaming at the guy. So I take off, and the driver shoots me one last look, and you won. Remember that next time you lose your cool behind the wheel. Calm down. Find a homeless person. Pay them to do it for you. And the only part of that story I embellished even the slightest bit was the amount of money that I gave him. Because if you think I'm giving out 20s, you're crazier than he was.
I'll bet Pete remembers this. Remember, there was a very famous white-haired woman who was so sweet-looking. She was America's grandma. She was just pretty and sweet and beautiful white hair. And she would have a sign trying to get home to visit my sick granddaughter or something like that. I just got out of the hospital trying to get home to something. And she'd be standing at the off the I-75 off-ramps all up and down from Northside Drive and all in from just over the perimeter into Buckhead and so forth. And she was, everybody would see her all the time. And finally, I forgot whether she got caught for something or other, and maybe just interfering with traffic or whatever. And they found that she, apparently she had a car, and then she'd park it in a nearby parking lot. So she was doing this for a living, and she always had like $700 or $800 in her pocket. I mean, it was a total freaking scam, and it worked every time. It went on, and finally we started out here. We went on the radio, and finally the story broke, and that was the end of that. She took off. I think she was from Nashville, and she would just visit here for a couple of months, make some money, and then go back home or something. Just unbelievable. Well, people trying to be nice, and that's what you get. 3:58. Oh, by the way, check this out. The outgoing former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy has now revealed about working with President Stupid Face. He uses note cards for everything, including private meetings with small groups. He has a teleprompter when you meet behind closed doors, says McCarthy. The teleprompter has cards. I found him when I met him. It would just be a couple of cards. Now just reads everything from cards. It's difficult to deviate. He sticks to the cards. If you go and deviate from the cards, he can't continue. Yeah, he's just not at the age to be able to handle serving the presidency. He's not the same guy he was before. He uses all his note cards, pre-selected donors who have questions at closed-door events, even meeting in public with his people coming in to talk with him. His reliance on note cards helps explain his own policy positions on questions he even knows are coming. He still needs the note cards to refer to them about even people he knows in private meetings. This is our president. Good Lord. I mean, come on. Oh, and Carmela got caught. The shiftless and lazy side piece of a vice president got caught with her so-called nonpartisan poll workers. My butt. But next, it's Neil Boortz with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Stand by.
The Morning Extra from 6 to 10 a.m. and The Kimmer Show from 3 to 6 p.m. Only on WFOM and W292EV Marietta. Extra 106.3 FM.
It's a busy day at the southern border, but not for the usual reasons. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Biden and former President Trump both making visits to Texas to highlight concern about border issues. But they're visiting areas with a stark contrast in recent numbers of illegal crossings.
We talk about the juxtaposition of Trump coming here to Eagle Pass, Biden going down to Brownsville. These are internal CBP statistics leaked to us from our sources. Over 2,000 here in the last 5 days compared to just 46 in Brownsville over the last 5 days. Monday really jumps out, over 500 here, while there were 0 in Brownsville.
Fox's Bill Malugin. President Biden is traveling with the Homeland Security Secretary, who has argued that actions taken by the administration have made a difference. Former President Trump meeting with the Texas governor, who's faced legal fights over state efforts to crack down on illegal immigration. 2 police officers shot in Independence, Missouri. This after reports of shots fired near a residence. Fox 4 in Kansas City reporting that one officer was killed. The other is critical, and that a civil process server was also shot. No word of any arrests. 2 suspects in custody after a Washington, D.C. housing authority officer was shot early today.
The officer is said to be stable after being shot in the abdomen by a man he encountered on patrol and asked to leave the area. The gunman ran from the scene but was arrested along with a woman after barricading themselves in a building. D.C. Housing Authority Police Chief Michael Reese said this kind of violence has become too common.
It's very disturbing. The violence seems to be escalating, but it's just a challenging time right now for our law enforcement officers and the community at large.
Earlier this month, 3 D.C. police officers were shot, leading to another standoff situation. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Stocks finish higher. The Dow with a late turnaround, finishing up about 46 points. America is listening to Fox News.
A toast to our new college grad who fills us with so much joy, almost as much as when we're in our RV. Oh, the world is your oyster, kiddo, and ours too. Now that we're covered with Progressive, Dad and I can hop in our RV anytime we want. Might even splurge on a retractable awning. Ooh, look out. Sorry, what was I talking about?
Protect your loved one with an RV policy from Progressive. Take as little as 4 minutes to see what you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Over $6 billion in tax refunds were flagged by the IRS for possible identity theft in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Their U.S.-based restoration specialists are dedicated to helping solve identity theft issues, and all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which means if you lose money because of identity theft, LifeLock will reimburse you to the limits of your plan. Go to LifeLock.com and save up to 25% your first year with promo code CLAY.
Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. With Pete and Philander. And this is either U2 or Robert Plant or Eric Clapton. U2. Here we go. 1992. U2 kicked off their North American leg of the Zoo TV tour at Lakeland Civic Center Arena in Florida. Acts have been there a lot. Elvis Presley was there, Rolling Stones, Rush, Bob Dylan. It's where Kiss guitarist Ace Frehley was nearly electrocuted during a concert in 1976. Anyway, this was U2 in 92, kicking off their tour leg in Florida. And let's see, I told you there's very few birthdays of note on February 29th. They do include this guy, Mark Foster, from Foster the People. He's 40. Isn't Foster the People like, didn't he have like one hit song or something? Or is that, what am I thinking?
Yes, it was called Pumped Up Kids.
Was that? I'm right. That one thing I barely remember this group for some, or this guy for some. Anyways, in case it's hard to find birthday. And a quick historical thing. Let's do a musical thing. On this day, 1968, Fifth Dimension, the big winner at the Grammys, won Song of the Year and Record of the Year for Up and Away. I never liked that song. And Best Performance by a Vocal Group. The Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band won a thing. We'll get to them later on, by the way. That was 1968. Okie dokie. Anyway, 404, guess what, everybody? Fonder, if you will. One of the most famous tunes in the whole country, as it turned out, originally just in the Atlanta area. And, of course, the bouncing signal with Neil Boortz joining us today. Neil, how's it going? Where are you and how are you?
I'm in Naples. Excellent.
You're home for a while. Are you between tours?
Yeah, home until May.
Oh, well, good for you. Well, it's a great time of year down there now.
Yeah, and then I get on the Icon of the Seas in May.
The Icon of the Seas. I don't know what that is.
You don't?
I don't know what the Icon of the Seas is. I'm sorry. You sound so disappointed. Neil, I swear to God, I'll look at it. Tell me next time. I'll look it up in advance.
Would somebody tell him what the Icon of the Seas is?
I don't know what that is.
Cruise ship.
The what?
It's a cruise ship.
Well, I've never been on a cruise ship. I don't know the names of cruise ships. My God, man.
Weren't you a seagoing bellhop?
No. Hey, yeah, your old man is now screaming from guarding Heaven's Gate about a crack like that.
Hey, have you had a chance to interview Kelly Gertz or whatever his name is?
No, dear Lord, man, he got reamed yesterday pretty good, that's for sure.
Did he good? Oh, I was hoping so.
Oh,
he
God.
said that the murder of Lake and Riley was not connected to illegal immigration.
Well, there's no
Where
connection.
in the hell did Athens come up with this jerk?
Well, not only that, Neil, we just read the story just a moment ago. I'll try to get for you here. They're now saying that if you are complaining, I got it right here, swear to God. Oh, here we go. The Joe Turdface Campaign Committee says if you suggest migrant crime is rising after the murder of Lake and Riley, it's racist.
Oh, of course it's racist.
Yeah. Poisoning the blood.
What isn't racist?
Yeah.
Everything is racist.
Yeah.
The word means nothing anymore.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, it's all they have to play. And again, we haven't seen it yet, but I'm hoping somebody at the border will bring it up, this latest situation and say, well, it's your policies that allowed those people to come in and commit these crimes and bring in their drugs and other gang activities and see how he answers that. And of course, he's going to a place in Brownsville where there's nobody left. I mean, it's all cleaned out and looks great for him anyway.
Yeah, well, Trump is the only one that has the nads to go where the problem really is.
Yeah, he'll show.
So, but I mean, I just cannot understand how somebody like Kelly Gertz gets in office in Athens, but then I remember Athens is in Clark County, also known as Dark County. And I guess that's just what you get from the electorate there.
Well, in fact, we played some sound of the mayor when he was running for office, or maybe it was the first, either, and his mouth came out of his mouth saying, oh no, he was mayor, and he said, we welcome everybody to Athens. We don't care whether you're documented or not. It's not fair to discriminate against people who want to live here and be good citizens. I mean, they're a sanctuary city. They're not supposed to be because it's illegal in Georgia. It's illegal to have a sanctuary county, but they said the same thing. And the sheriff, when he was running for office, before he got elected for running for office, he said, I'm not going to cooperate with ICE. We believe we want to have people trust us as police officers, so we're not going to turn you in if you're undocumented. There you are, the sheriff and the mayor.
Yeah, meanwhile, down here, Marco Island and places like that, Collier County are declared Bill of Rights sanctuary cities. Where
Bill of Rights?
Yeah. Well, where we will protect the Bill of Rights against all attackers and opponents. So
I don't even know.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Where do they?
I know. My God.
Where do they get people like this? It just makes you suspicious of everybody running for office. By the way, did I hear you say Robert Plant?
I may have said Robert Plant. I think we're going to play something from him. What did I say?
Play Can't Let Go.
Can't Let Go. Okay, Robert Plant is coming up our next break. All right, we have a request.
Have you heard him singing with Alison Krauss?
I love Alison Krauss.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Didn't she do that really sad song, Whiskey Lullaby? Was that her?
That was her.
Heartbreaking. Oh,
but I think her saddest song was just called Ghost in This House.
I don't know that one. Is she the one her husband cheated on her? Did she just break up with somebody?
No.
What do you got there, Flounder? Flounder's playing music.
This is Robert Plant and Alison Krauss called Can't Let Go.
It's great. Go. Listen to it.
Okay. Boy, they really sing wonderfully together with their harmony and.
That's a great song. Oh, and by the
yes, sir.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, nice.
And boy, do they look odd together. Robert Plant with Alison Krauss. But
yeah, I guess.
I like what Vince Gill said about Alison Krauss. He says, "If I die and go to heaven, and the angels don't sound like Alison Krauss, I'm leaving."
Oh, sweet. That song, "Whiskey Lullaby," man, that'll make you cry out loud. That's just,
I'm not that familiar with that one.
Heartbreaking.
But,
I think that was her. I think that was hers. Flounder, am I wrong? Or Pete, you know that?
No,
song, right?
no, you're right.
Yeah, okay. I could be
You're
wrong.
right.
I don't know much.
But Alison Krauss. So anyway, we've solved the problem of Athens mayor. I mean, the problem may be just to. There's no solution for somebody like that. He probably believes the earth is flat.
Well, the people were screaming at him. The video was saying, we're calling him a liar, saying, "You did this, you got blood on your hands," out loud screaming. He had cops all over. I mean, they attacked him at the news conference, and he stood there and took it. What's he going to do, But again, they caught him. They said, "You're a liar. What do you mean no sanctuary city, no connection between crime and immigrants coming in? My God." Oh,
well,
Lord.
I mean, it's absolutely, without question, you cannot refute the fact that the death of that young nursing student is squarely on the shoulders of Joe Biden. Yeah. He is the one that created the situation that led to her death. I hate saying anything to boost Trump, but Kimmer, if you had ever had to work with Trump like I did in the legal field, you'd feel the same way about him that I do.
Yeah. Well, again, I don't like Donald Trump as a guy. He's not my kind of guy. I wouldn't want to be his friend. I mean, well, I played golf with him once just to do it, as I mentioned before. But he's not my kind of guy. But his ego is so big that he wants to be the best president America's ever had, and that's okay with me. If that's your goal, great. If he's only concerned about making the country better, God bless him. So anyway.
Well, the alternatives are depressing.
Yeah. Well, Biden is responsible for all of it. I mean, deliberately, they let the people in on purpose for the reason that we all know, to change our culture, because every one of those people is a future Democrat in their opinion. That's why they're taking the chance to let them all in. It's pretty simple.
But there's an odd thing about Hispanics and the Democrat Party. Hispanics, especially Mexicans, are very high on this list. They have a great appreciation and fondness for the family structure, man, woman, and children. Mm-hmm. And they look very askance at any attempts to change that culture. And they are religious. They are largely Catholic. They love the core family principle. And I don't think that they're guaranteed votes by any stretch of the imagination for Democrats. This may jump up and bite the Democrats in their Obama before it's over.
I think exactly that's the case. And I think what happened was that these freaking liberals have swung so far to the left. I don't believe that most basic Hispanic families really want to talk about having their 9-year-old boy become a girl and whether they should use the proper pronouns and what the hell they're teaching in schools. I don't think Hispanic or, immigrant families coming in as strongly as they are about family units want to hear any of this stuff. Boys playing on the girls' teams and hurting girls in basketball because they're bigger and stronger. I mean, who agrees? I just don't. I think they're going to shoot themselves in the foot because they're doing the things that these Hispanic families do not believe in and agree with, and maybe this is going to make the difference. God, I hope. I sure hope.
Well, I hope so, but how old are you?
77, but I read at the 80-year-old level. Well, I'll be 78 in a couple of weeks. 78.
Yeah, well, I'll be 79 in a couple of weeks.
Well, so, okay, Mr. Smarty Pants. Oh, sorry. No, I mean,
no, we're.
I may make it to 79.
Well, you and I are both in a position right now to just sit back and watch this country crumble while we're saying, "Look, we tried to tell you. We tried to tell you. You didn't listen.
I think
you kept screaming, racist, racist, racist."
Now you got. Well, it's a perfect example. Every one of these sanctuary cities is now in big trouble and complaining about it. Denver yesterday just said, by the way, all you hourly employees of all the Parks and Rec, Life lifeguards, people who work in all of we're going to cut your hours down to, 0. Because we need them. We need $4 million to pay for the immigrants, so they're cutting the salaries, and they'll say, by the way, if you can't make ends meet, you are eligible for unemployment. Oh, my God. That's how they solve the solution, is by basically laying off their entire force of public workers so they can take care of immigrants. Denver, because they wanted the illegals. They're a sanctuary city. New York's the same thing. Their mayor this week is saying, oh, my God, we can't take these people.
Well, you know what happened to Denver, don't you?
Well, you say it.
California.
Yeah, that's right. Here they come. Here they come.
California went to Denver, and Denver went to hell in a handbasket. And California is going to do that to several other states before it's open.
Well,
they've done it to New Mexico. They may be able to pull it off in Arizona. I mean, California is like an overflowing sewer tank that's starting to just leak into the neighboring states.
It's the worst state run by the worst governor, and his name keeps popping up as the guy to head the Democrat ticket. I can't believe it.
He's been setting that up all along.
Well, yeah. When he showed up with his sleeves rolled up and his jacket over his shoulder at the White House when President Stupid Face was overseas, yeah, that was pretty obvious.
And this country is just crazy enough to put Gavin Newsom in office. But then again, you and I, we can just sit back and say, we tried to tell you.
Well,
we tried to tell you.
If it happens,
but you didn't listen.
I should have known better, but why would you listen to me? And by the way, wouldn't it be great if he's the president of the United States, our first lady would be the couch sodomy queen for Harvey Rapestein. She gave it up for Harvey Rapestein to do what he wanted to her so she could make it in show business.
Well,
and he married her. Oh, my God.
It could have been Kimberly Guilfoyle, you know.
Well, I'll tell you, that would, oh, my God. Yeah, it could be funny. Anyway.
So, now it could be the president's former wife is married to the past president's son.
Right. Well, he was mayor of San Francisco, too, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he?
He was. No, he was.
Yeah, but she was married to him then, I think, wasn't she?
I believe he was.
Yeah.
I believe he was. Yeah, but at least in that sense, Gavin Newsom had better taste than Willie Brown.
Well, America's favorite side piece, the shiftless and lazy Carmela Harris. Oh, by the way, I got reamed the other day because someone said, well, you can't call a woman shiftless because that's racist. That's the way I go against black people. She's not black. She's Jamaican. She's a Janinda make. What did I call it the other day, Pete? In Jacomin or something or other of her racial background. She's not black.
Well, you know what? Like Tiger Woods said he was Cablination.
Absolutely. That was my example of why it's okay. And a Jamindican or something like that, I called her.
Yeah, Jamindican.
Are you okay, Kimmer?
No,
Take
I'm not.
pill.
I'm freaking out.
At this time of the afternoon, you really should be drinking decaf.
I'm going to do something. I know that. I'm going to start. Flounder, you got anything on the side for me at all? Tied me over or something? I'm a wreck.
Anyway.
By the way.
Then if you just want your day to go to hell in a handbasket, just sit back and think that you're a couple of heartbeats in an old geezer away from Kamala Harris being the president of the United States.
I know, my Lord. And
this is a woman that couldn't even pick up one primary delegate when she was running for president.
Yeah, she dropped out before she could get one. Yeah, and he had to pick her. He's so stupid that he labeled himself into a corner because he said he's going to pick a girl, hopefully a black girl, and he sure as hell wasn't going to pick Pocahontas. So what's he left with? I mean, what an idiot!
He chose his vice president. He chose his vice president from 6% of the population of this country.
That's right.
And by the way, whenever I just relish when somebody calls me a racist. See, I just look at him and say, define racist.
Yeah.
And they can't.
They don't know what it is. It's not the same thing as being biased or what's the other one?
Prejudice.
Prejudice, yeah. Prejudice, bias, and racism are not the same thing.
Well, we do. We obviously have racial problems in this country, but what is the first thing you do? What is the first thing you do when you're trying to solve a problem? The first thing you do is you
Define
identify
the words.
the problem you're trying to solve.
Define it.
And okay, is our racial problems due to prejudice or bigotry or racism? And the automatic answer from everybody out there, it's racism. Okay, fine. Define racism.
Yeah,
and they can't.
They don't say it. In fact, wasn't there? There was a professor or a biologist or somebody who tried to make an official claim that that genetically that was the definition and the reason for the racism or something. He got creamed for it. It was several years ago. I remember there's a huge controversy about it. But the racism is not prejudice.
No, it's two different. Then, by the way, have you ever discussed profiling on your show? There is not one of us.
We should profile.
that does not profile several times a day. We all do. When you're at Home Depot and you need help finding a screw, you don't just look around and pull somebody up at random. You profile.
You look for someone who would know.
You look for somebody wearing orange.
Yeah.
And we profile all the time.
You're a color racist.
We could not exist as a society if we did not profile all the time. It's a great shortcut to efficiency and the truth.
Well, it's not only that, but the way we pick our friends or the people we want to hang around with. If you're in an area where there's some people who are screaming and yelling, say, "Well, I don't want to go over and hang around with those guys," you do something because you profiled them as people you probably don't want to hang around with. That's not. That's just typical behavior to see what's best for you at any minute. I mean, my God.
Or if you're at an event, a conference, a party, whatever, and somebody's wearing a name tag that has pronouns on it, you profile immediately. You do not want to interact with that person.
Yeah.
You do not want to know one thing about them. You don't want to have a 3-word conversation when "go away" will do. All because they put their pronouns on a name tag. Pronouns on a name tag mean you don't want to know me.
Right.
I'm not all that bright anyway. And you profile on the basis of we need more profiling.
Yeah.
And I tell you where we really need profiling. We need to go ahead and look at the statistics and decide which young men out there, which young men are the ones carrying the guns? Which young men out there are the ones that feel like they don't have any street credibility, any credibility at all, unless they have a gun in their pants? Figure out who they are, profile them, and then pull them over and frisk them.
Well, they used to do that, and it used to be pretty effective, too. I remember Rudy Giuliani used to have a pretty good crime rate going until they stopped all the, actually cracking down on crime.
Yeah, stop and frisk.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I think we know who is most likely to have the guns, although that's spreading.
Well, statistics.
Yeah.
I mean, we've said it before, but every time you say it, you're singling out this. Well, then stop your bitching and do something about your own freaking community. I mean, that's where if there's a problem and you can identify the problem, then there you are. There it is. So to take care of it, but they're not willing to do that.
Okay, how do you like the Supreme Court taking on this presidential immunity?
All right, let me ask you this. Here, it's this. The Supreme Court, I think now, Neil, has 3 Trump cases basically, and the one that's going to be most important, I guess, is whether a president can break the law and be immune from prosecution for duties he did while president. My question is, does this center on whether the duties he was doing as president were, in fact, keeping with the duties of his office? Or would it also mean if he decides to go rob a bank one day just for the hell, got drunk and shot a guy in the face for no reason on the sidewalk, wasn't really anything to do with being president, is he immune from that? Or only he is from only his duties?
Is he immune for fomenting... Is it fomenting or fomenting? A riot at the Capitol.
Yeah. Well, again, the words in the Constitution is insurrection, which is why they started calling it the insurrection on January 7th, because they knew that they could use that word to try to get Trump. But again, he's never been tried or convicted or even charged with an insurrection. How could they possibly? I mean, is the Supreme Court bound by saying, well, he's never been charged or convicted? How could we say that?
Well, I have a president for you who does have immunity.
Who's that?
Vladimir Putin.
Well, yeah. Kind of a strong arm way of doing it. I don't know.
Well, yeah. But, I mean, that is your picture of a leader of a country with immunity.
Yeah.
Vladimir Putin. And that is what Donald Trump wants to claim for himself. Does he actually identify? I'm not saying it, just wondering. I think it's a fair question. Does he identify as being another Vladimir Putin?
No, I can't. I mean, I think that's.
Oh, he's bragged about his. You know how I.
Well,
can
he's
just
not
go
an
out and
assassin.
kill somebody.
Putin. Well, no, but he hasn't done it. Putin's a freaking assassin. You know, Putin just killed the guy. Trump's not a murderer. But I think even he would agree, and I think the court is going to very quickly. What do I know? But I think the court would clearly say, no, if you're president, you can't just go murder somebody. So you're not immune from any kind of crime you might commit while you're president. But you are maybe immune from what someone considers a crime as part of your duties of president, unless it's specifically outlawed in the Constitution, like the word insurrection. Now, the other thing is, can you be charged after he's been president? If he does something while he's president and they can't charge him as president, can they charge him after he's president? Neil, I don't know. Are these things is this what they're deciding?
Well, there is instances of immunity among people in Washington. For instance, a member of the House of Representatives or of the Senate cannot be held criminally liable for anything they say on the floor of the House or Senate when it's in session.
Right.
Yeah, they can't be held liable for that. So they do have, they do have immunity. So there are cases in our government where immunity exists, but I think that Donald Trump has vastly overplayed that. And the quicker the Supreme Court can strike him down on that ridiculous idea, the better off we are.
Now, let me ask you this. What about the issue of whether or not a state, and some girl judge in Illinois just did it again. Is it possible that some woman or somebody working in a state Secretary of State's office can say, you know, that damn Donald Trump, I think he committed insurrection, I'm keeping him off the ballot, which is basically what they did. He's never been charged or convicted. Will the Supreme Court rule in his favor, saying you cannot legally have a state keep a presidential candidate off a federal presidential ballot?
Not under these circumstances. No, that lady from Illinois, at least she did say, I'm staying my ruling to give the Supreme Court a chance to weigh in on that.
Well, she had to. I mean,
but, if you have a president who is convicted of a crime, you may have a case.
Yeah.
But because you don't, because you might not like his rhetoric, his claims that the election was stolen, just because you don't like that doesn't mean you can keep him on the ballot. I don't think that Donald Trump committed. I think it's a real stretch to say he committed insurrection.
He didn't lead an insurrection.
But he sure encouraged a riot. I believe he did.
Well, he certainly encouraged a trouble to say, peacefully go and tell them how you feel about what they did to us. So obviously it was, it was provocative.
By the way, where is Melania?
Well, good question. Now, in fact, that came up the other day. How come she's not on the trail with you? And they said that she's going to be joining him more. But that's a good question. I think probably because I don't blame her, because all they do is pick on her and call her names and saying she's uglier than Michelle Obama, even though Michelle's a boy. I think she just wants nothing to do with it. I don't blame her either. I think she wants nothing part of this stuff.
Please, nobody with a half a brain ever said that Michelle Obama was more attractive than Melania.
Please, it pops up on Twitter all the time. Who is the best looking first lady? And who is the best first lady too? Yeah. Oh my God, Michelle Obama's first bitch. She's the worst first lady we've ever had. Nasty, entitled, dismissive, vicious, black-hearted. Good Lord.
Remember when she looked at her husband during the playing of the national anthem or something, and she just mouthed the words, all of this for a damn flag.
Yep. Remember the first time she said she's finally proud of her country.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Anyway,
for the first time in my life, I'm proud of my country. Yeah.
Good Lord.
Okay, well, you've really made me depressed.
I'm sorry. What do you do? What's your next trip? Where are you going to go to have fun? Are you going to have fun coming up? You say you're staying till May. What are you going to do in May? You traveling up north?
Well, we get in the bus and go off to rallies every once in a while. Okay. But You know, as soon as our cruise on the Icon of the Seas, look it up, Kimmer.
I'm going to check that into a breaker.
As soon as our cruise is over, then we're in the bus and we have to live in that sucker for about 5 or 6 months while renovations. We're getting the condo redone.
Wow!
So we'll be as far west as the Rockies, maybe Oregon, as far north as Banff and Lake Louise in Canada, as far northeast as Prince Edward Island, Quebec City. We'll be all over the place. We're going to burn some diesel fuel.
God bless America. Best to you and your sweet lady bride, and I hope you have a terrific next week until we talk to you again. Neil, thanks, my friend. Really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. By the way, my golf handicap is now 27.
I mean, good. That's great. That's wonderful.
No, I got down to a 12 one time, but boy, have I gone to hell.
Well, tell me about it. I've lost 80% of my drive distance. So anyway, we'll tee it up one of these days, Neil. Semper Fi, my friend, and great to talk to you as always. Neil Boortz.
Yeah, be good.
Thanks, man. 431, Kimmer, Pete Flounder, and Neil Boortz on 106.3.
Hey homeowners, Tug here with some exciting news. Southern Exteriors is your one-stop solution for top-notch exterior services, from roofing to siding, windows, gutters, and more. No more waiting. They can start on your project immediately. And with an in-house warranty division, Southern Exteriors stands by their work for years to come. From leaky roofs to faded siding, trust Southern Exteriors for a quick and lasting transformation. Don't wait. Transform your home today. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co now. Southern Exteriors, quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years.
At the Piedmont Bank, we're proud to be one of Georgia's largest community banks, focusing on serving businesses and the communities they serve. With headquarters right here in Metro Atlanta, our tailored banking expertise and solutions help meet the diverse needs of our customers so they have what it takes to grow, expand, and thrive. It's what elevates us above the rest. Find a location near you at Piedmont.bank and experience elevated banking for you and your business. The Piedmont Bank. Banking elevated. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
As we start 2024, Central Heating and Air Conditioning would like to thank everyone for trusting them with your heating and air conditioning and home performance needs by throwing the 27th annual Winter White Sale going on right now through the end of February. And you can save up to $2,000 with carrier rebates, the best in the business. At Central, you're guaranteed to get the best deals possible. And why is Central Heating and Air the best? Well, they're one of the few locally owned HVAC companies in Atlanta. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and it's still that way today. And Central Heating and Air Conditioning can fix what ails your house health and possibly your family's health with home ventilation and air quality products. Central has packages designed around health using variable speeds, fresh air ventilation, air cleaners, air purifiers, dehumidifiers, and more. Central Heating and Air's 27th annual Winter White Sale goes through the end of February. So check them out online at centralheat.com or call them at 770-GET-HEAT and turn to your Atlanta carrier experts.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. Tune in every Saturday at 10 a.m. or find it online at thepodcastpark.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts. A new Braves season is around the corner, and tickets are on sale. The Braves home schedule is jam-packed with great matchups, including the Texas Rangers in April, Red Sox in May, and Phillies in July. Plus, you better get your tickets now for when Shohei and the Dodgers head to Truist Park in September. 2024 will also be more amazing gate giveaways, like the Ronald Acuna Jr. bobblehead trio commemorating his record-breaking season. Replica chain giveaways featuring Michael Harris II and Orlando Arcia, a City Connect replica jersey, and the list goes on. Visit Braves.com/promos to see all of the amazing giveaways throughout the season and purchase your tickets. And fan favorite specialty ticket packages are back in 2024, including the Military Appreciation, Father's Day Catch on the Field, Star Wars, and more. Visit Braves.com/packages to see these special packages and the exclusive items that come along with your game ticket. Atlanta Braves baseball for the A.
I think it's time to get rid of that old, ugly garage door.
Get rid of it? All it needs is a quick repair. Where's my duct tape and WD-40?
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors, and let us be the ones to tell you if you need a repair or a replacement. If you have a wooden or uninsulated steel door, a replacement will always pay for itself with energy savings. But if your door is insulated and not very old, put down the duct tape and let us come out to service your door the right way. Head to allfourseasonsgarages.com or give us a call today.
Cool. It's just a double earphone wangy bangy. It's like the old-fashioned hi-fi. I got the left ear doing one thing and the right ear doing another. We're going to talk about love letters coming up, too. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 4:36 with Eric Clapton. On this day, 24 years ago, Eric Clapton was banned from driving for 6 months. He was caught doing 45 and a 30 at his British home in Surrey. Oh, my God, 6 months no driving because he was doing 15 over? Well, I guess so. Okay. Anyway, coming up, we got kind of a love story here involving that man and another suitor. We'll get to that shortly. Also, I mentioned very few birthdays on Leap Day. They include Jesse Usher, 32, Will Smith's son, Dylan, in Independence Day Resurgence, and he plays A-Train on The Boys. I don't know what that is. Anyway, and a quick history note. I think I might have one here. It's kind of a sports thing there. Sorry, Pete. On this day in 1996, Daniel Green was convicted in North Carolina of murdering Michael Jordan's father. It was a 1993 roadside holdup. A guy was sentenced to life in prison. An accomplice was also who testified against him. Also got life in prison. So there you go. What's that?
The Boys is an Amazon show making fun of superheroes. It's a pretty good show.
Oh, really? Well, I'll be down. I got to get that app, I guess, on my phone watch.
By the way,
yes.
the Biden administration has got a new word. We can't call them invaders. We can't call them illegals. We now can't even call them migrants anymore. The Biden administration has now found a new politically correct word
what's the word
for the
now?
invaders.
Okay, so what should we use now?
Newcomers.
Newcomers. Oh. Kind of like newborns. It just has kind of that little baby, though. Welcome. You're the newcomer. Let's bring something over to your house and give you a little food basket and a newspaper application. And then we'll just sit around and talk about how much we like to have new neighbors. Well, bless your heart. Let's all open our doors for all of our newcomers. We got some newcomers. I want to hit somebody in the face right now, I swear to God. Honestly, I just, give war a chance. I just, these people, it makes me so free. What is wrong with these people? What is
They're
wrong?
traitors. They're traitors.
What
it's
happened?
treason.
How are they getting away with it? Because we're too freaking lazy. There should be riots in the streets for the right reason. All right, 4:38. Before I forget, this 4 o'clock hour is brought to you by the Atlanta Safe House, home of the Kimmer safes. You need a safe, you may not know it, but you put your Social Security card in there, medical records, divorce and marriage papers, stuff like that, children's things for the fall, go back to school. Learn more if they have a showroom in Ackworth, and check them out on the web, atlantasafehouse.com. A longtime sponsor and a great friend of the Kimmer. 4:39, 404-741-1230, 404-741-1230. 741-1230. A couple of phone calls, 2 of the phones. It's Martin's on with us, and Lori's standing by. Hi, Martin, you're on the radio. Thanks for holding, sir. Really appreciate it. What's up?
Well, yes, sir. I think the name for the newcomers, irritants might be a better option. But let me move real quickly on the issue of the guy that King Putin murdered.
Yeah.
I would, you need to look, the guy pissed off the king.
Yeah.
I call him king, anyhow.
Yeah.
And he pissed him off. He got sentenced, went to jail for a short term. They let him out, and King Putin said, go away. He came back and kept kicking sand at King Putin.
Yeah, he was asking for it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to be the king. Now, the guy, every indication is that the guy was not murdered, that he actually died of natural causes. It's early yet.
Right.
We don't know. But,
I'm not sure about that.
You don't.
I really, Martin, come on now, man. He's all battered and beaten. They didn't want to show his body. I mean, come on. Private burial, nobody can witness.
In jail. The guy was in a rotten jail. It was a bad environment.
It was probably the other
That
inmates.
could have killed him.
Probably the other
yeah.
inmates making love with him and stuff and beat him up a little bit.
Well, you don't keep kicking the neighbor's dog.
No, you don't.
Eventually, it's going to bite.
Yeah, that point is true. Absolutely. He was going back he became a martyr, and he must have known what he was in for. But still, that doesn't mean he should have been murdered, because he's a protester. But in that case,
his Wheaties are wet, not from milk.
Yeah, okay. All right, Martin, I got to go. You're killing me. Thanks, man. Call anytime, 440. Try to host the camera. Lori, you're on the radio. Hi, Lori. Welcome aboard. What's going on, baby?
Hey, guys. Happy Thursday.
Yeah, see, man, what's happening?
I wanted to comment on Melania. I thought about this for a while, and Trump is such with somebody trying to kill him. I think he's keeping her and Barron in the background for their safety, because it's taken a lot just to keep him safe. Don Jr. just got a package in the mail, had the white stuff in it, and they wanted to kill him.
Yeah,
that was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot of, people don't think about how many people really want to kill him. So he's trying to keep him safe, but just keep them out of the way of those crazy ass people.
I wouldn't be surprised. No, I think you're probably that's I probably got a lot to do with it. But also, he's particularly quiet about his son Barron, who's now, what is he, 6'6" now or something? He towers over everybody. He's a giant.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's just keeping them two because he's still underage. Protecting him and his wife. Where Don Jr. and Eric have their own life, but I believe that.
Yeah.
And Boortz, let me just say something about Boortz.
Okay.
I don't know him very well till y'all got back on the air. He pisses me off so bad. And then he'll turn around and say something smart, normal. And I'm like, damn it, Boortz. I was just mad at you. And then you turn around and you're like,
Lori, Neil Boortz made a very nice living being exactly what you said.
Doing that for 50 years.
God, I'm cussing him. And then he goes, I'm like, damn it.
Damn it.
But he's in our age group where we can get away with everything, okay?
Yeah.
We're in that group, where we've made it to the end. And it's like,
do what the hell I want. I don't have FU money, but I got FU age. So that all right, baby. All right, sweet.
Let me take Joe Biden and them. It's just FJB. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what we feel.
Yeah, I know. All right, Laura. You have a great day out there. Be
Another
careful.
thing with Melania, though, is her mom just passed away a few weeks ago.
That's
so
true,
she's
too. I
also
hadn't
probably
thought
been
about
out of
that.
the.
Yeah. But again, I mean, honestly, I don't think she really wants any. She's not a campaigner. She's not a political wife. I mean, it's just not her style. I don't think people hold it against her. I don't think they hold it against Trump. I hope. I don't think they do. I don't think they say, gee, where's his damn wife doesn't care about him? I mean, that's not
Well,
a
the thing is, Trump doesn't need Melania to hold him and lead him around like Biden does.
That's a good point. Since when should the wife be in every single thing that happens to take care of him? And by the way, if you have, I hope that the Republicans, when the campaign gets closer, will start doing nothing less than showing all those videos of her leading him around because he doesn't know where he is. My Lord. By the way, do we have time for the I think we might have. Can we play the little Layla here? Let's do this. This is a kind of a funny story just came out. Not funny story. A sweet and happy story just came out today. 60s supermodel Patty Boyd was at the center of a rift between guitar riffing gods George Harrison and Eric Clapton. Clapton tried to woo Patty Boyd with secret love letters while she was still married to Harrison when the two Rock and Roll Hall of Famers were best friends. The Penn mission was accomplished. Boyd left the late Beatle, who had written the song Abbey Road classic Something about his wife, Patty Boyd. And then she went on to marry the former Yardbird in 1979. Well, Patty Boyd is now 79 years old, and she is auctioning off Clapton's love letters. And it's okay with him. Clapton wrote his 70s classic Layla and Wonderful Tonight about Patty Boyd, years before they got divorced in 1989. The auction will be March 8th, Christie's. In one of the letters, Clapton declares to Boyd, "Take me, I am yours. What I wish to ask you is if you still love your husband, but if there is still a feeling in your heart for me, you must let me know." He writes another, "Dear Layla, why do you hesitate? Am I a poor lover? Am I ugly? Am I too weak, too strong? Do you know why? If you want me, take me. I am yours. If you don't want me, please break the spell that binds me. To cage a wild animal is a sin. To tame him is divine." Legend has it that after the bestie betrayal was discovered, Clapton and Harrison dueled on their guitars for the right to the fair Patty's hand. After he lost Boyd to Clapton in the fabled Battle of the Axes, Harrison somehow managed to forgive them both, even going to their house for Christmas after the bro code busting breakup. The letters from Eric, they're so desperate and passionate, a passion that blooms once in a lifetime, I think, said Patty Boyd. Even now, if I were to read those letters, it makes me terribly sad. I've had them in a little trunk, and occasionally I'll have a look and start to read, and my heart beats. It jumps, because it's heartbreaking. They're too painful in their beauty. Patty Boyd auctioning off the love letters. Layla. One more time. 446.
It's time for the Boortz Report, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast's premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
Well, the Supreme Court now has the case. It's going to look into presidential immunity. Well, look, there hasn't been a president in quite a while that we can really be proud of. Might have to go back to George Herbert Walker Bush. Certainly the most qualified man to ever hold that office in our lifetimes. Let's see, there's Barack Obama. He actually thought that our rights were granted to us in the Constitution, not protected by the Constitution. Hillary Clinton, she wanted to be president. Thank you, Donald Trump. She said it was time to stop thinking about the rights of the individuals and think more about the collective. And then there's slow Joe Biden. I don't care what his personal doctor says. He's suffering from dementia, and he is not the guy in charge. Barack Obama is still pulling those strings. And then there's Donald Trump of Trump University fame. I wonder if those people ever got their money back. Donald Trump says you can't be held criminally liable for anything you do when you're actually serving in office. What a dangerous, despotic idea that is. Yeah, we need a president that can do anything he wants to do while he's in office and not be held responsible for it because he has presidential immunity. You want to see a president with immunity? Look at Vladimir Putin. Maybe that's Trump's problem. Maybe he's jealous. Vladimir Putin can kill political opponents and not be touched. What would Trump do if he did have presidential immunity? If you're not the least bit concerned about that, then please don't vote in the next election. There's no law that says you have to. There's enough fools with voter cards already. Neil Boortz, XTRA 106.3.
Is this the year you want to grow your business? Do you want to expand your team? Build a new office? Hey, it's Tug, and I want to tell you about First Liberty Building and Loan. Aren't you exhausted by going to lenders, building a relationship, and a week later, you're dealing with a new person? You won't have to with First Liberty Building and Loan. The Frost family has been helping businesses grow since the 90s, and they can help you too. They know the patterns, they know the ebbs and flows, and they know business. Now the Frost family wants to know you. FirstLibertyGA.com. Buying a building, building a building, buying a franchise, or expanding. Reach out and spend 10 minutes with them. See if you're a fit for them and if they're a fit for you. FirstLibertyGA.com. By the way, if you're a young banker and you want to work with a team that's faith-friendly with a culture of excellence, First Liberty might be a good match. Reach out to First Liberty Building and Loan at FirstLibertyGA.com. That's FirstLibertyGA.com.
Fellow Americans, former CIA officer Jason Hansen here. Market instability and soaring debt have put your retirement at risk. For protection, I recommend diversifying into physical gold from Advantage Gold, a 5-star rated gold company I've used for years. Their customer service is unmatched. Call 800-741-GOLD now and say Jason Hansen sent you and get a free 2024 gold investing kit. Again, call 800-741-GOLD.
How you doing? Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 450 with Robert Plant. 1988, Robert Plant released his 4th solo album, Now and Zen. It peaked at number 10 on the British chart. The tracks Heaven Knows and Tall Cool One, which I think we're hearing here, featured guitarist Jimmy Page. Robert, what's the one I like? The Robert Plant side. He's so fine, you don't know. That's not it. What's the one that Robert Plant song?
That's Robert Palmer.
That's Robert. Oh, that's right. Robert Palmer. Robert Plant. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's so far away.
Well, they had same letters. Sorry. Okay. By the way, 451. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, and I'm going to now do a little history lesson for you on something unusual that happened in history on Leap Day, February 29th in the year 1504. Christopher Columbus came ashore northeast of Cuba in 1492 and named it San Salvador. He left Spain in 1502 with a ship, several different ships, and thanks to an epidemic of shipworms eating holes in the planking of his fleet, he was forced to abandon 2 of his ships and finally had to beach his last 2 caravels on the north coast of an island now known as Jamaica. Initially, the natives were very welcoming, providing them with food and shelter. The days dragged into weeks and tensions mounted. After being stranded for 6 months, half the crew of Columbus mutinied, robbing and murdering some of the locals who themselves had grown weary of supplying fish and corn in exchange for little tin whistles and trinkets and hawks' bells and other trashy goods from Columbus. Famine now threatening, Columbus formulated a desperate, albeit ingenious plan. There was even in the 1500s, there were books about customary routes and ventures out into the unknown seas in search of new frontiers. Columbus had a copy of the almanac with him that sailors would all have when he was stranded in Jamaica. He discovered reading the tables that on the evening of Thursday, February 29th, 1504, there would be a total lunar eclipse, beginning about the time of the moon rise. Armed with this knowledge, 3 days before the eclipse, Columbus requested a meeting with the big chiefs of the locals in Jamaica and said, the Christian gods are angry with you, chief, and you're no longer supplying me and my men with food and stuff, so I'm going to show a sign of our Christian gods' displeasure. In 3 nights, we're going to obliterate your rising full moon. It'll appear inflamed with wrath, and the signal of the evils that would be soon inflicted upon them. Well, son of a bitch, 3 days later, the 29th of February, Leap Day, the sun set in the west, the moon started rising in the eastern horizon, plainly obvious to all that something was wrong. By the time it appeared in full view, it was barely a dark scallop. It had been taken off its edge. An hour later, it had been removed from the lower edge. Evening twilight ended, the darkness descended, the moon exhibited an eerily inflamed, bloody appearance, and it was not a brilliant lake winter full moon at all. It was a dim red ball. And according to Columbus's son, who wrote later, they were terrified. They were howling, and lamentation came running from every direction to the ships, laden with provisions and beseeching the admiral to please intercede with your God on their behalf. We promise we'll happily cooperate with Columbus and his men if you just give us back our moon. He told the natives, I'll have to retire to confer privately with my God, and shut himself in the cabin for 50 minutes. He turned an hourglass every half hour to the stages of the eclipse so he knew when it would be ended. Just before it started reappearing again, he announced, "Our God has pardoned you, and we will give you back your moon." And everybody was happy after Christopher Columbus pulled a February 29th leap day stunt on the Jamaican Indians in the year 1504. Ladies and gentlemen, today's history lesson has now ended. Gee, I wish we had more time for the program. Sorry. Well, I don't know. I think that's a great story. I don't think Pete's too happy with a great story.
No, it actually was, for once, a very interesting story.
Isn't that
not told before?
And you know what amazed me about it, though? What amazed me about it was in the year 1500, they had charts and almanacs of celestial things, even then, which is, to me, is remarkable.
Yeah, except in Rome, where the Catholic Church had locked poor Galileo up for the last 14 years of his life.
Well, that was the Catholic thing, the whole, it's God. It was that was definitely unusual deal there.
Forward-thinking people that they are.
Yes, apparently. By the way, one quick political thing, and then we got the American Psychological Association's woke dictionary coming out. Holy cow. Carmela Sidepiece, our shiftless, lazy vice president, tried to prove that she was really a hotshot, knew what she was doing. She took to social media praising the effort of poll workers around the presidential primaries. Her complimentary remarks backfired. She said, "Golly, our democracy could not function without nonpartisan poll workers like Vasu and Rob here, who I met in Georgia. We really support and thank you." Shared a photo of her appearing with the people and listening to Vasu Abrahimamam, whatever his name is, applauding a nonpartisan poll worker. Well, it actually turns out that there were additional tweet context showing what readers really may want to know. This Vasu person is a liberal advocate promoting the progressive movement. The so-called nonpartisan poll worker, a staffer at the left-wing Alliance for Justice, formerly with the ACLU in Georgia. It identifies him as the Helen Rosenthal Senior Counsel for Building and Bench Program of Alliance for Justice, a dedicated advocate for diversity and inclusion in the federal and state judiciary. One user says the tweet is like a major cell phone baby. It's just really sad. If posts like that destroy your credibility. If your staff can't even properly vent the people you're posting, you got to get rid of them. Maybe that's why they keep quitting. Vasu and Rob are nonpartisan. Are you serious? They're very partisan. And by the way, apparently now the Vice President Shiftless and Lazy has announced a new program where the president is authorizing people who show up to help get people registering to vote will be paid. Now, when you show up to get people to register to vote and they give you your money, guess where they're going to go assign you to make sure you get people registering to vote? You think they're going to be going to the, white suburban country club neighborhoods to get people to register to vote? Or not? And they're going to get paid to make sure there are more Democrats voting this year than ever before. And again, this business trying to do, vote now. You can vote right now. Early primary voting and early presidential voting. And we've already made out your documents for you. Good Lord. Okay, very quickly. We got 4:58 already. Holy crap. Holy crap at sports coming up, by the way. Pete Davis in short order. The American Psychological Association has a new dictionary. They say that phrases, and this is for their own people to use phrases when they're doing counseling. And the American Psychological Association says, well, you don't use phrases such as take a shot at this or, we have a target population. No, don't say that. You're really killing it. No. Those are all microaggressions. How about this? How about you need to stand up for something or other, or turn a blind eye to those who are going to see, or lend your voice to a cause because, you know what those are? Those are ableist, offensive to disabled people. Stand up. What about people who can't stand up? Stand up. What? Oh, you can't. What if you? Oh my God! Lend your voice to the cause. What about people who can't talk? Oh my God! They're serious. I'm not making this up. They're serious.
Learned men have gotten together and written this. Learned men.
Sold down the river is now racist because a lot of black people in Mississippi on the Mississippi River used to be sold down the river. So now you can't say you got sold. Oh my God.
By the way, Rhino is already attacking you on Twitter. He's got pictures of tater tots up, and he says from now on, these will forever be known as potato dots.
I've invented a new word. Even Rhino salutes me. Coming up at 5 o'clock. Yeah, blow me a kiss. How about that?
This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta on Dickey Broadcasting Station. Locally owned and heard throughout Georgia on the Extra app.
Opposing views of the southern border on Lisa Brady, Fox News.
But this is a Joe Biden invasion. This is a Biden invasion over the past 3 years.
Former President Trump speaking a short time ago in Eagle Pass, Texas, saying the border used to be secure, but that President Biden's changes have led to millions of illegal crossings and a surge in migrant crime, singling out several cases involving undocumented suspects, including the murder of a Georgia nursing student.
Joe Biden will never say Laken Riley's name, but we will say it and we will remember it. We're not going to forget her. It's been just a horrible story that we've had to live with for the last few days.
The former president says he spoke to Riley's parents. He's been meeting today with the Texas governor, who says a state crackdown on illegal immigration, including barbed wire and water buoys, is working in Eagle Pass. President Biden is in Brownsville, Texas, urging Congress moments ago to approve more resources.
We need to do more. It's time to step up. It's time to step up. Provide them with significantly more personnel and capability.
He says a bipartisan border security deal in the Senate would be a win for the American people and that politics derailed it, calling out the former president.
So instead of playing politics with the issue, why don't we just get together and get it done? Let's remember who the heck we work for. We work for the American people, not the Democratic Party, the Republican Party. We work for the American people.
House Republicans have been pushing for tougher border measures than what Democrats had agreed to in that bill. We're just getting reports that an Air National Guardsman, Jack Teixeira, accused of leaking classified military documents last year, will plead guilty. Reuters is reporting this. There's no independent confirmation yet, but there are court documents showing a court hearing is set for Monday in that case. America is listening to Fox News.
Hear that? The sound of adorable little birds in your garden. And if you were here, you'd taste the 2 sweet but tiny tomatoes you grew all by yourself. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens when you're riding your motorcycle, protected by Progressive, on your way to the store for a pack of normal-sized tomatoes. So if you ride, switch to Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer, without getting your hands dirty. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Over $6 billion in tax refunds were flagged by the IRS for possible identity theft in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Their U.S.-based restoration specialists are dedicated to helping solve identity theft issues, and all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which means if you lose money because of identity theft, LifeLock will reimburse you to the limits of your plan. Go to LifeLock.com and save up to 25% your first year with promo code CLAY.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right a plank. Ready on your dog target. Heels clicking, girls. Road guards out. Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis and Flounder. 503 on 106.3. Happy Thursday. How's it going? We got newsy stuff. Just heard Donald Trump. We got border visits. Talk a little bit about that coming up here today. You'll hear the podium princess, the disgrace of federal government representing your country. And Shirley Temple with another despicable example of how they really feel about us. That's all coming up. And a bunch of things. We got woke Jeopardy. I think Jeopardy must have jumped the shark. I used to watch Jeopardy a lot when I was around. I guess I forgot when my shift might have been able to do it. But anyway, I haven't watched Jeopardy in years and years and years and years since Alex Trebek by a long shot. And it must have jumped the shark. There's something going on. There's a complaint on social media and in the news about Jeopardy like every 3 days.
Well, they put that woke idiot Ken Jennings on there who hates half the country.
Yeah.
He hates conservatives. He hates Trump voters. And he said it. He's been vocal about it. And they don't care. They put him on anyway.
Yeah. Well, wokeness. In fact, we talked wokeness today. We talked about the mayor of Athens and how he ran his campaign in office saying, we welcome everybody, whether they're documented or not. We want all people to love us here in Athens and love our police. So we're not going to arrest anybody just because they're undocumented.
By the way, New York City Mayor Eric Adams' home is getting raided by the FBI as we speak.
Oh, remember he had a thing going on with some kind of secret documents with one of his aides a few months ago. They did this. They raided it earlier. Is there any more in the story about it? I think they did this before.
It just shows
just
some
a headline
taking boxes.
Oh my God! Yeah. Oh my God. They did this before. Was it? No, wait a minute. I think it was his chief of staff. I got to have a memory thing going here. I think they investigated either his chief of staff or his secretary. Somebody. Does it say it in there?
No, it doesn't say. But even better, Trump at the border has confirmed that he has spoken to the parents of Laken Riley. Biden will never say Laken Riley's name, but we will say it and we will remember it, he said.
All right. In fact, let's do this now. First of all, President Dogturd has not mentioned the name. You know he's not going to mention the name. But, Flounder, let's play the podium princess, Regine Frachine. She's black. She's gay. She's a girl. She's got 3 check marks. Oh, my God. Well, she was on CNN. And CNN asked her about the Laken Riley murder case. Here's what she said.
I mean, this is a horrific loss for any family. And obviously, if whoever is found guilty, we need to make sure that that happens. And obviously,
what happens?
we don't want to see anything happen like that again. But here's the thing: we have done the work to make sure we're dealing with a broken immigration system.
Enforce the law.
Republicans have gotten in the way. They have gotten in the way. And that's what we continue to see over and over and over again. And so, look, this is a serious matter.
She's not a serious anything. This is appalling, absolutely disgraceful. What they do, they won't even mention the fact of what happened, and still they immediately go to Donald Trump and their conservatives.
There are laws on the books. Enforce the damn laws.
By the way, the Border Patrol Union put out a message today when President Cowpie was going to visit saying, don't use our name. Keep our name out of your mouth, unquote. And where Biden's border trip is going, there are no migrants. They're all gone. There's nobody there after the wire fence put up by the governor of Texas. So he's going to be going to a place where there is a fence and no illegals, which thereby proves that fences work.
But he's also there to check out the new Democratic ballot drop boxes he's installed along the border. So as soon as they come over.
And we've got your filled out ballots already, folks. So this is unbelievable.
In Espanol.
My God. And incidentally, if you think that you're alone in this, you're a damn racist. If you suggest in any way that migrant crime has anything to do with the murder of Laken Riley or anything else, you are I'll read the official words. His campaign has sent out one of their lackeys to suggest it's racist to indicate that migrant crime is rising after the murder of Laken Riley, and they slammed Donald Trump for poisoning the blood of the country with his rhetoric, unquote. So instead of actually owning up to what happened, they're turning on Donald Trump for complaining about what happened. The nursing student murdered, and the campaign says this immigrant crime narrative is racist, said Democratic Representative Robert Garcia of California, a press briefing organized by President Cowpie's re-election campaign. If you compare migrant crime and rising things to the narrative, you are a racist. And migrants, by and large, are committing less crime. Oh, are they? Really? And by the way,
if it's going down in quantity, they're making up with it with quality.
Yeah. And the quantity's still there, let's say. And by the way, Senator John Oswald has said nothing. He hasn't said anything because he doesn't want to offend the lefties. And yeah, here we go. Thank you, Senator. Appreciate it. And Senator Raphael Weifnacher was too busy. They asked him for a comment, but he was too busy practicing his habit of sneaking out the back door anytime that a process server shows up as a deadbeat dad trying to get him to pay his freaking money for his deadbeat dad activities over not taking care of his own family. And he really wasn't busy because he was fleeing out the back door after trying to murder his wife. Or maybe just run her over. I mean, maybe not murder. Maybe he probably wasn't trying to murder. I mean, I can't say. I don't know what was in his heart. How could I know what was in Senator Raphael Weifnacher's heart? The racist who hates the military, hates white people. Surprised a freaking lightning bolt hasn't come down when he was in the actual pulpit of Martin Luther King Jr. and Hosea Williams. Dear God, Ebenezer Baptist Church. I can't believe he can drive on the property without getting a lightning strike. Jesus.
By the way, Jim has gone on social media to say, I hope Kimmer's not going to start an OnlyFans page since taking his shirt off.
Well, now, okay, let's review. By the way, I didn't know you could keep that around. I thought it was a live thing and it was gone like black and white TV days.
No. One lady is calling for a gift to be made so it just runs in
Oh, no, please, God.
Over and over. Well, perpetuity.
They egged me into it on the whole nipple story. I don't even want to talk about it. And so I'll show you. And now all of a sudden I'm getting, hell, I had a couple ladies who sent me video of them throwing up looking at the monitor. I'm serious. It's just not fair. I had one lady named Lady Domina offered to whip me into shape. I don't even know what that means. I had like 4 girls just texted me of them with them putting their finger down their throat. I mean, come on, girls. I'm almost 80. Give me a freaking break. Anyway, yeah, I didn't know you could keep that around. I thought that was going to be gone forever.
You know what the problem is? Too many potato dots.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen it, so did I really look like a fat load? I mean, I can't believe it. That's disgusting.
No, you don't look like a fat load.
Oh my God. They're going to just. Oh, jeez.
Your nipples are askew. I know that.
Well, I have a breast implant on the left one.
Another nipple gate.
Yeah, another nipple gate. Thank you, man is right. Oh my God. All right. Oh, by the way, we got Holy Crap at Sports coming in a second, and right before the Jeopardy thing. Here we go again. Speaking of Jeopardy, fans are in an uproar. Monday's episode: speech and parts of speech. Ken Jennings was at the podium, and he put the clues that read XEM, XYRS. And XEM self. So it's Zem, Zers, and Zimself instead of him, her, herself. The same contestant buzzed in a $600 answer to say, what are pronouns? And Jennings awarded him the money saying those are pronouns and neopronouns, meaning new pronouns, typically ones that are used to avoid he and she. Jennings quickly moved on to the next question, but people are saying, now, wait a minute. So in order to win at Jeopardy, you need to be able to keep up with whatever bull crap the wokes are coming up with? Another guy says, geez, I'm done with Jeopardy, man. If they're going to be asking the question, I would answer by turning off the television, never watching the show again. One guy said, so much for Jeopardy. The woke crowd has claimed another victim. That's okay. I have my King James Bible to read. Several viewers brought up Alex Trebek, who died of pancreatic cancer in 2020. Trebek never would have agreed to such a question. They didn't waste time making Alex start spinning in his grave, did they? God, no one said, I will never watch Jeopardy after this. After Alex, it all went downhill. I think that's when they jumped the shark. Jeopardy just had a question about neopronouns. It's silly. One guy said, boy, it's exciting to see. I wasn't treated like a joke. Anyway, Jeopardy, give me a break.
Yeah, he's just mentally ill.
Yeah. 513. The question is, what is a tranny? Oh, thank you. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder and Holy Crap at Sports is coming up, and more Flounders funnies. We got it all. And then after 6, we'll go to are we doing Man Radio tonight? With Shannon Burke. You can go to Florida Man Radio and check that out, too. I think, although they just changed stations.
No, he's just going to, that doesn't happen until March.
Oh, okay. So Florida Man Radio after 6, if you want to hear Shannon Burke, will be on with his show. Okay, thank you. 513, here's Pete's coming up.
Atlanta radio legends are right here on Extra 106.3. And here's what you missed from Neil Boortz.
Joe Biden? His day starts at 10 o'clock. His day ends at 2 o'clock. He is not to be left alone, ever. Even his own Justice Department defined him as an elderly man with a poor memory. So he shouldn't have to stand trial for wrongdoings. Sympathetic, well-meaning, elderly man with a poor memory. Poor memory, he can't even remember when he was vice president or the circumstances around his son's death.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
You shouldn't need a degree in finance to choose a checking account. That's why we made Truist One Checking. No trade-offs, no compromise, no hassle. Just the stuff you want from a bank that cares. And that means no overdraft fees, lots of practical perks, and automatic upgrades. Truist One Checking. One simple choice. Visit truist.com/one. Truist.com/ONE. Truist Bank, member FDIC.
It's a mad world out there, but one thing is certain, everyone is trying to market something. So tune in every Saturday at 3 p.m. to the Marketing Madmen, who, along with a variety of industry expert guests, can help you make sense of it all. Whether you own a business and want tips to scale, or are a fan of the finer things in life and want to know how restaurants, golf courses, and wine companies try to sell you stuff, the Marketing Madmen is your ultimate destination for all things marketing. Tune in right here on Extra 106.3 every Saturday at 3 p.m. or search online for more content. Join the madness with the Marketing Madmen.
Media Minute with Howard Kurtz.
The White House is extremely upset with the New York Times coverage of President Biden's age. How do we know this? Publisher A.G. Sulzberger says so. He told the Reuters Institute for the Study of Journalism that we're going to continue to report fully and fairly, not just on Donald Trump, but also on President Joe Biden. He is a historically unpopular incumbent and the oldest man ever to hold this office. We've reported on both of those realities extensively, and the White House has been extremely upset about it. He goes on to say that we're not even saying this is the same as Trump's 5 court cases or that they are even. They are different, but they are both true. And the public needs to know both those things. And if you are hyping up one side or downplaying the other, no side has a reason to trust you in the long run. That much is true. And it is also true that the coverage of President Biden had been a lot more favorable until many Democrats turning against him on the age question. With your Media Minute, Howie Kurtz, Fox News.
All right, here we go. The Kimmer Payton Philander. And coming up, I want to talk about a special scene in a special movie with John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara. Why it should fit today, but it won't. And potato punch. I'll get you Holy Crap at Sports with Pete Davis.
What do athletes wear on Leap Day?
Jumpsuits. Oh, my God. I may have gotten that right.
You did. You got it right.
Are you serious?
Are you serious? You got it right.
I don't. Well, I'll be damned.
Get tater tots right, but you got
Well, I thought it was potato poops or whatever the hell I said.
Potato poops. Yeah, that's what they should market it. Try new Tyson potato poops. Yeah, they'll get right on that. The marketing boys will. Anyway, the Braves played 2 split squad games today, and it was good. In the one against Tampa Bay, Forrest Wall hit 2 3-run homers to lead the Bravos over the Rays 12-9. 2 3-run homers he hit, Forrest Wall. Yeah. Marcelo Ozuna also a homer. Dylan Dodd started, pitched 2 hitless innings with 2 strikeouts. In the other game in Northport, Spencer Strider pitched 3 scoreless innings against the Twins. He gave up just 1 hit. He struck out 5. The bullpen shut Minnesota down the rest of the way, and they won 5-0. Ronald Acuna Jr. an RBI double. Michael Harris II and Eli White drove in the runs as the Braves just sweep the split squad games today.
Excellent.
I was watching the replay last night of the tie game between the Phillies yesterday and the Braves. Was really impressed with new reliever Ken Giles. He has not pitched in the majors in 4 seasons, but in his first appearance as a Brave, struck out the side of Bryce Harper, Nick Castellanos, and Alex Bohm.
Wow. Did he have surgery or something? Why 4 years? Do you know?
Yeah, he had a little trouble. He won the World Series in 2017 with the Astros. I think he was their closer at then, but he's had some trouble since then, not pitched as well. So he was in the minor leagues last year with an ERA over 8. But he had a 95-mile-per-hour fastball and a pretty much unhittable slider yesterday, so he looked very good in his first inning.
Good for him.
Shohei Ohtani has gotten his first and hopefully only ring with the Dodgers. After taking one look at the dating scene in Los Angeles, the 29-year-old has gotten married to a nice Japanese girl from his home country.
Outstanding.
That's lovely.
Outstanding.
Guy goes to L.A. Well, actually, he was in L.A., so he's probably seen the dating scene and said, I'm not going to
we don't want
here. But disease. Bob Melvin has implemented a few changes heading into his first season as manager of the Giants. Melvin is having every single person who could be in the dugout for a game to be on the field for the playing of the national anthem, which includes players, coaches, trainers, and all staff members. Melvin says his anthem policy is more about being ready to play than making a political statement. But Giants veterans have been very okay with this policy. It's a big change from the way things have been done the last few years. The woke manager, Gabe Kapler, he pretty much said the players could do whatever they felt was best for them during the anthem. And he himself even made the statement by choosing not to take the field for the anthem once for whatever cause he was pushing that day.
You know, and by the way, wasn't Melvin, I thought he was a manager of the Giants years ago.
No, Bob Melvin was with the Padres and the A's, I think.
Oh, well, I was thinking of California teams, I guess.
Maybe the Mariners, too. He's been with a few places.
He's been around, good guy.
Yeah. MLB is thinking about lowering the amount of pitchers you can carry to 12, down from 13. Why would they do that, Kim?
They want more scoring. They want to have more home runs. Arms get tired, and they can't get guys out in the late innings or not. It's probably not that.
You were on such a roll.
I had the roll going. I've lost it. It's over. I'm going to go home now.
They want to put more emphasis on starting pitching. Which is a good move.
Well, yeah. But they're never going to go back to Nolan Ryan, throwing 200 pitches in an 8-inning game,
No, that's not going to happen. Your Atlanta Hawks are in Brooklyn tonight. For dinner, may I suggest Illis, serving a tasty menu built around ingredients like eel and mushroom. Ooh, well, I can't wait to line up for that.
I'm so sorry. I just eel. No.
Guess what a meal of eel and mushroom at Illis will cost you?
In New York City?
Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn, eel and mushroom dish. Yeah. That's got to be $60 probably. Just
higher.
$70.
Higher.
$81.
Higher.
$97.14. $109.
Higher.
$137.
Higher.
$209.
Higher.
$342.
All right, now you're being ridiculous.
Well, I'm sorry.
$295.
Well, that's nothing. I thought it was $300. Hell, I would have paid $300 for it.
Illis is done by the same guy who has a place called Noma in Denmark. What is Noma known for over in Denmark? A restaurant.
Probably some sort of flower pudding or something for their roses or whatever.
According to Michelin and several other people who know this, it is the greatest restaurant in the world.
Really? Noma in where?
Denmark. It's a little place out in the country. Yeah.
And what are they for their beef or the seafood? Wouldn't be seafood in Denver. Oh my God! Are you serious?
They love, Northern Europeans love eel. Yeah.
It's like that. What's that? Lutefish or whatever they had, like the Minnesota
Lutefisk,
people.
that's Minnesota.
Oh, God, it's like got acid in it or something and potash.
It's dried up fresh.
It's ludicrous. He's from Atlanta.
No, Flounder, I'm so sorry. But
Lutefisk.
We're talking about the food from Minnesota. Well, he was busy in the back. He didn't hear the whole story.
It's a dried up husk of a fish.
Yeah, we know.
They just gnaw on it.
No, sorry.
By the way, if you don't like eels, do not read or watch the movie The Tin Drum. You will. It's got. You especially would not like it. I'll tell you sometime why.
No.
Next year, you will be able to watch NASCAR races on both Fox, NBC, and now Amazon Prime.
God, I've got to get that app on my watch.
You've got it. And Amazon just stole the most popular guy in NASCAR to do their broadcast next year. Who is the most popular man in NASCAR?
Denny Hamlin. I don't know. Johnny Johnson. Jimmy Johnson.
No.
Oh, well, then the other one. The son who lived, the junior, Ray, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Ho, hey,
Yes.
ha. Look at that. It took me like a minute and a half and 4 names, and I got it down after 4 names.
The synapses are firing in other directions.
Tell the Rhino about that. Put that on his freaking Twitter account.
Rhino.
That the Kimmer did it like an under 5. I mean, to let him try, but if he's still alive when he's my age, I'd like to see him duplicate it. I'm sorry, I really take it all the time here. I'm so sorry.
Take that right. Anyway, how long
those
do
beautiful
rhinoceroses
bastards?
live?
They're just beautiful bastards. That morning crew, the All-American Anal Team. Honest to Pete, I listen from 6 to 10.
What's the average lifespan of a rhinoceros?
14 years. No,
14?
No, I think it's 30, probably 50 or 40, 20, 30 years. Probably not much because they're so big.
That's true.
But hell, elephants live a long time. I don't know. Good question.
Kids today, you just don't know what you're getting sometimes, especially in the NFL draft. According to TMZ Sports, Illinois tight end Tip Ryman said he does not believe in birds.
Okay, how does he explain all those little things flying around?
He says they're not real. And here's how he says it. He says, have you ever seen a baby pigeon? He goes, how do we know that power lines aren't pigeon recharging stations?
Good question. Yeah. I have no answer. I just have no answer.
He says there's a viral meme that shows a man making the claim that birds are spy drones from the government.
Well, now that I would, I'll tell you what, they're going to be one day. Hell, they use dolphins and porpoises for the Navy. To sniff out bombs and stuff, and I'll bet you. By the way, what a great disguise that would be to have your drones look like birds.
I know. Another NFL prospect, Tyler Owens, made headlines. He says he does not believe in space and other planets, and that flat Earth conspiracy theorists have some valid points.
Well, okie doke. This is a hockey player we're saying.
What are they teaching at Texas Tech in Illinois is what I want to know. What the hell classes are they taking over there?
By the way, the white rhinoceros lives in the wild for 40 to 50 years. The black rhinos live between 35 and 50 years. The Asian rhinos have a lower maximum age, around 30 to 40 years. So there you are.
What do the New York rhinos live? How long do they live?
Those are a little different species. There's never been one that's really, that's been lived to fruition.
The Marietta via North Georgia mountains via New York rhino.
Well, it's so hard to keep up with. They call them moving and changing, and I want to get the story about how he got out of that situation, but not that 520. Yeah, what's that now?
He told me. I'll tell you something. In Africa, they actually have to guard the white rhinos because
they're
people
valuable.
want to kill them various reasons.
Yeah.
The Raheem Morris Get to Know Me tour continues. The new Falcons coach is at the NFL Combine up in Indy and admitted to a reporter that just before he goes to sleep almost every night, he watches part of what movie?
Let's see. Deep Throat. No, that'd be silly. Well, you got to go all the way. You're just really committing for the process.
All right, let me just cut this off right now before you say something else stupid. Let's hope Raheem's tenure at Falcons coach doesn't go the way of Hans Gruber.
Oh, my God. Hans Gruber. And the story of it's right there. It's not coming out. It's not coming out.
Bruce Willis.
Where he had the gun behind his neck, and he came out and he had it behind his hands behind his neck, and he had the gun back there, and he got rid of the gun. The Christmas story. They call it a Christmas movie, but it's not really a Christmas movie. And it's the guy broke his shoulder out of a thing on the bathtub or something, and but his shoulder out of joint, and he had the other guy, the black guy, was with him, and Danny, whatever it's not Porter. What?
No, Danny Glover is not in that movie.
Danny Glover.
That's another movie.
Oh, that's a different one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I feel like I'm in hell, and I'm having to play password with somebody with Joe Biden's brain.
The password is idiot. The password is idiot.
The password is.
What's Robert Ludden? What was his name?
Oh my God! Quit trying to do this because you sound worse every time you. It's Alan Ludden.
Alan Ludden, married to Betty White, by the way. Married to Betty White.
Die Hard is the movie.
Die Hard. That's what I tried to say.
All right. I saw a Twitter poll from the AJC's beat writer, D'Orlando Ledbetter, about if the Falcons should trade for Bears quarterback Justin Fields. And when I looked at it, the majority of fans, almost 2-1, said yes. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the majority of fans have not been paying attention very much to Justin Fields the last few years.
Well.
And Cam Newton will not be charged for the scuffle he was in during the children's football event a week ago, but his hat is still languishing in fashion jail.
You can't charge him for them ganging up with 8 guys trying to beat him up or something. Give me a break.
They attacked him.
He should have
He's
broken
innocent.
all their fingers just so they'd never have another happy day again. By the way, in Die Hard, who was the black guy? He did the shoulder thing, right? He ripped his shoulder out of joint to prove he could do it in a straitjacket or something, right? Wasn't that it?
No, you're talking about the guy who was later on the
Australian guy.
TV show.
Oh, but who was the black guy in Die Hard? Wasn't there a black guy in Die Hard?
It was a fat black guy, the cop.
Yeah, but who was it? I can't remember. I thought there was.
I can't remember his name. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, God, I did have his name. He was in the Urkel show.
Yeah, I know. Somebody will know. That's sorry about that.
Yeah. Now you make me look like an idiot.
Well, gee, that's so hard to do, Pete. I mean, come on, I'm the one who normally gets
it's catching.
Yeah, but the
You're
rhino
a carrier.
Yeah, well, the rhino's never putting you on Twitter. I know that. I'm the one who's getting the bejesus over here, which is fine. I certainly deserve it. God, it's already 5:30. I can't believe it. And again, we'll be on with Shannon Burke after 6 on his Florida Man Radio thing. 5:30. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741 is the number. 741-1230. Actually, 741-1230.
Hey, just read it again.
And now this
Alan
important
Ludden.
message. Alan Ludden, hey, married to Betty White. Thank you.
From the latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust, your best new follow on social media is XTRA 106.3. We're at XTRA 106.3 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events and so much more. Follow at XTRA 106.3 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
If it's time to buy a new car, what are you looking for? Price? Sure, that's easy. Anyone can offer you a good price, but not everyone cares about your community as much as we do. At Subaru of Gwinnett, there's a lot to love. You'll love our staff, our service department, the entire experience. Because at Subaru of Gwinnett, it's about way more than buying a car. It's investing in your community and loving the people you do it with. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event, come in for a test drive and find great offers on the 2024 Subaru Outback or the model that best fits your lifestyle. And yes, we check a lot of boxes: safety, value, and of course, loving what you drive. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com and find the ride that best suits you. Learn about our incredible staff and find out how your next purchase will benefit your community. We promise you'll love it, because love is what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Subaru of Gwinnett, Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, and online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. Tune in every Saturday at 10 a.m. or find it online at thepodcastpark.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This weekend, it's GBI Special Prosecutor Diane McLeod, CEO of Reconnect Pete Andrews, and A Second Chance's own Daniel Madelon. Tune in on Saturday or find it online at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 770-627-3235 or online at atlbail.com.
What are your plans for your business this year? Hey, it's Tug. Do you want to expand and grow? Aren't you exhausted by going to lenders, building a relationship, and a week later, you got a new person to deal with? You have to start all over again? You don't have that with First Liberty Building and Loan. The Frost family has been helping businesses grow since the 90s, and they want to know you. Unlike big banks, they want to partner with you. The Frost family knows the patterns. They know the ebbs and flows. They know business. Get to know them at firstlibertyga.com. Building a building, buying a franchise, expanding. Reach out to them. Spend 10 minutes with them. See if you're a fit for them and if they're a fit for you. You do that at firstlibertyga.com. And by the way, if you're a young banker and want to work with a team that is faith-friendly and has a culture of excellence, First Liberty might be a good match. Reach out to them today. First Liberty Building and Loan. firstlibertyga.com. That's firstlibertyga.com.
That'll be the day. Well, it was a day, all right, with Buddy Holly. And ironically, interestingly enough, on this day in 1980, Buddy Holly's glasses were discovered in Mason City, Iowa, 21 years after he and Richie Valens and the Big Bopper were killed in the plane crash. That was the day the music died. The crash was so violent, belongings were strewn over a long distance. Buddy Holly's glasses and the Big Bopper's watch were hidden in the snow, eventually discovered and given to the local sheriff's office, where they sat in a sealed envelope for 21 years. And now they were returned to Buddy Holly's widow in 1980 after 21 years lost and gone. 5:35, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. I just got some more messages from women about my stupid naked body trick where I took my shirt off the other day like an idiot.
Also, real quick, our fearless ops manager, Scott McFarland, just texted me and said, that was 3 movies he just referenced. Die Hard, The Last Boy Scout, and Lethal Weapon. Holy hell.
Brought to you by Reginald Vell Johnson.
Well, you don't get this kind of inclusivity everywhere. You know what I mean?
Anywhere. Nobody is doing this. No. For good reason.
Well, I see things in my head and they come out, you know. I thought it was just, I thought Danny Glover was the guy, and I know he did his shoulder thing to show he could do his shoulder thing. I know that was in there. And I know in one of them he had a gun in a streaking in his back of his neck where he had his hands behind his neck, behind his head, and he came out with it. And I remember those things, you know, so you've got to put them all together. That's all. Well, speaking of movies, I mentioned something, I teased something earlier, and I shall now bring it full circle. Tonight, on TV tonight is Farmer Wants...
Wait a second.
Yeah.
I've just realized what's going on here.
What's going on?
Because you eat so many of these mashed potato bowls. Your brain is, you got your chicken poppers over here,
That's
and
right.
your potato dots over here, and your gravy and your mashed potato.
Yeah.
But in your brain, they all just kind of blend together into one meshy brown bowl.
And boy, is it good. I love it.
All the movies just blend together.
It's blended. I'm a total blending of blendness. Yeah, I blend them all together, baby. I do. I can take pictures. I have half a plate with a half of the chicken things. What do they call them? Chicken pops. And I have the potato dots. And the other half, and it's smeared all with gravy and lots of salt. Oh. All right, now 5:37. Sorry, I got distracted. Now, movie I was going to tell you about. The Quiet Man is on tonight, TCM. Also, The Farmer Wants a Wife. That's on. I always watch that. I don't want to miss that. And The Quiet Man, I think it's on TCM. It's on tonight somewhere on cable. And The Quiet Man is with John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara, mentioned before. And if you haven't seen the movie or know about it, John Wayne is Irish descent. He goes back to Ireland and meets the old thing. And then they have a whole... It's a really family-type movie of going... And this is back, I guess in the 50s, probably. And the most famous scene of that entire movie, and there's a bunch of them. Who's that guy? Old guy Fitzgerald, John Fitzgerald. Somebody Fitzgerald is the old. Barry Fitzgerald is the old grumpy guy. Great character actor. Oh man, is he good? And he and John Wayne have a fight, and it was kind of cool. But the greatest scene is when he and Maureen O'Hara. She's kind of playing the feisty, redheaded fireball Irish girl, and she wants no part of John Wayne, and he's trying to be the man. And they're having they barely met each other, know each other, and she's already ticked off about something. And she comes over to his cabin where he moves and goes into Ireland, where his family was from, and he's in there, and the storm is raging, and the wind is blowing, and the doors slamming open, and she's standing there with her red hair flying in the wind, and he grabs her, and he pauses for a second, and he grabs her and he kisses her and swings her around, and her arms go flying. And what happens in that kiss when he took her is her surrender. It's the greatest moment there is when you meet the woman you've always wanted. It's the greatest, the surrender, that moment when she says, okay, don't hurt me. Okay, I'm in. Let's see. I mean, oh my God. And that movie showed that. That instant in that 10-second moment of that, just spectacular.
By the way, John Wayne, Maureen O'Hara, and the director John Ford had to promise to do Rio Grande to get permission to make The Quiet Man. They had to do a Western before they got the money to do Quiet Man.
From the studio or from the producers?
Yeah,
really?
They promised to do we'll do this Western if you let us do this Irish thing.
God, you would think they would be other way. They would want to do that. Well, I guess not. That was funny. They had to get Western. Bribed. Wow, that's funny. And of course, Rio Grande was a great movie. That was back in the days when CinemaScope was real new and stuff. I think back then that was real good, like what they call CinemaScope, or I don't remember. Let's get to the 540. Let's get phone calls. Here we have David is on the horn with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Hello, David. You're on the radio.
Hey, Kimmer, how you doing? I love to call and connect the dots with the different items that you're discussing.
Good luck.
Oh, you're a regular puzzle solver, are you?
Good night, everybody. Take up the rest of the show.
It may take a minute.
I like to make it seem like you really do have an agenda and make sense. Okay.
Okie doke. We'll see you tomorrow.
A couple of things. First of all, the Quiet Man.
Yeah.
What you mentioned is after that kiss, he goes and throws her on the bed also, and the bed breaks.
Yeah, I'd forgotten that. Honestly, I'd forgotten that. But again, I promise you.
And then he slams the door.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Leaves. It's all about her dowry, and she goes, and he ends up fighting her brother from town to all over town.
Right.
It's like a 40-minute fight.
Right.
The guy that he fought was actually a boxer. He actually was a boxer. But that's not what I'm calling about. I'm calling about yet another John Wayne movie. That was a John Ford movie called The Searchers.
Oh, I remember that movie. Rescuing the escaped girl or the kidnapped girl.
Yeah, and Natalie Wood.
Natalie Wood.
She was beautiful.
Oh man, I had such a crush on Natalie Wood. Yeah.
Buddy Holly went to see that movie, and he came away with the concept of that'll be the day, because John Wayne's always going, that'll be the day,
right.
Pilgrim.
That'll be the day.
Right.
That's where that song came from that you referenced. Also,
yes, sir.
Another thing that came out of that movie, The Searchers, is the band The Searchers that named their group after that movie.
The instrumental group. Yeah.
Two different things.
Yeah, and The Searchers had a couple of real big instrumental hits, as I recall, in the 60s. Needles and Pins, or was that Needles and Pins? What? Not an instrumental, singer. Yeah, Needles and Pins. That's right. They said Needles and Pins.
Nietzsche wrote that song, I believe.
I don't know.
Not the Nietzsche, but the other Nietzsche.
Yeah, I would not know. Cool. Listen, thanks, David. I really appreciate it. You've connected a bunch of dots, and we are very grateful.
And potato dot. And potato dot.
Yeah. Potato dots.
Okay. One more piece of trivia about The Searchers, which is one of the greatest movies of all time, by the way.
Natalie Wood.
At the end, after John Wayne saves Natalie Wood and brings her back to the family, he stands at the doorway and does not come in. And you're seeing the camera's inside the house, and you see him back with the desert behind him, and you see him, and he turns and he walks away. And the studio fought John Ford tooth and nail, saying you can't have the hero walk away. You've got to show him in there with the family congratulating. And John Ford said, no. He's a loner, and he did his job. He finished it, and that's where he's walking off in the sunset.
It was perfect. Yeah. No, outstanding. 5:44. Do we have, let's see, looks like Steve. Steve is on the radio. Steve, you're on the horn with us. Kimmer, Pete, Flounder. What's going on?
I was just thinking about the movies and some other stuff. That great one with John Wayne and Marino. Is it Marino Harris? The one where he's the Navy pilot. Wings of Eagles.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah.
And they land the airplane in the dang swimming pool at the O Club at Pensacola.
Oh, man, I've forgotten everything about it. I remember
That's a great movie, but the only other thing I had was I'm wondering if you guys are still running the pool to see if you make it through Christmas.
Apparently, Mr. Dickey's got a 64 square piece of paper in there with a date of when he thinks I'm going to die on the radio, so I guess it's still going on. What's your bet?
You're eating pork dots and corn rolls.
Gravy. Lots of salt and gravy.
Liver pop-ups or whatever and all that stuff. Good Lord.
In fact, I'll tell you this. When I get the plate ready, when I take the potato bumpers and the chicken pop things and I put them on a plate, I salt the crap out of them. And when I put the gravy in a bowl and I put that in the microwave and heat it up for 19 seconds. But before I do it, I salt the crap out of the gravy in the bowl and stir that in. So I'm guaranteed, and I make sure that every single piece of every single potato place and every single piece of meat has gravy on it.
Yeah, you're like curing yourself.
I don't care.
Anyway, you guys have a good night.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. All right, there we go. 5:45.
Your corpse is going to look like a lutefisk.
Yeah, well, Marines don't die. We just go to hell and regroup. 5:45 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And we got Flounder's Funny's coming up too. We got all kinds of stuff here. I hope probably.
I saw her today.
The Searchers.
I saw her face.
Needles up,
was
inside.
a face I loved, and I knew I had to run away. Get down on my knees and pray that they'd go away, but still they began. Needles and pens.
The legend Neil Boortz. He's only on XTRA 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
Donald Trump. What do you think world leaders think about this guy with his gold sneakers? This hyper-narcissistic loose cannon who invites Russia to attack our NATO allies.
Atlanta Talk radio legends are only on XTRA 106.3.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the podcast park. See you around, Atlanta.
Hi, I'm Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly, Cobb's premier lifestyle magazine, serving our community for nearly 20 years. We feature familiar faces, local voices, and community businesses. Our Town Monthly is a direct mail publication, bringing community news to the mailbox of your potential customers. If you're a business owner looking to grow sales and build your brand, let us help. We have a robust portfolio of advertising and marketing products to showcase your business. Reach out Let's chat. And if you're one of our valued readers, thank you for being part of the Our Town community. I hope you find our magazine entertaining, informative, and a great resource. Our contributors are a talented group working hard to provide engaging content. If you love our free magazine, please support our advertisers. They make it all possible and are eager to help earn your business. There's so much going on in Our Town. Don't miss out. Find us online at OurTownMonthly.com. And remember, Our Town is your town at Our Town Monthly.
Hey homeowners, Tug here with some exciting news. Southern Exteriors is your one-stop solution for top-notch exterior services, from roofing to siding, windows, gutters, and more. No more waiting. They can start on your project immediately. And with an in-house warranty division, Southern Exteriors stands by their work for years to come. From leaky roofs to faded siding, trust Southern Exteriors for a quick and lasting transformation. Don't wait. Transform your home today. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co now. Southern Exteriors, quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years.
Look out, it's only me. It's only the Kimmer. Feed and flounder. There you go. Dun, 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 dun. Sing it, baby. And the Beatles, 1968. That Lonely Hearts Club Band won Album of the Year, Best Cover, and Best Engineered and Recorded Album at the 1968 Grammys for the Beatles. That was in 68. By the way, in 1972, John Lennon's U.S. immigration visa expired. Thus began the former Beatles' 3.5-year fight to remain in the country. Lennon's problems apparently stem from his 1968 conviction for possessing marijuana in the UK, which is not that good. Anyway, 5:49 already with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder.
Trump, the head of the Daily Mail, here's the headline: "We are at war." Trump says we are at war at the border, and it's Biden's war. Biden's invasion.
Read, and I'll give you a quick version here. I want to hear some more viewers. Donald Trump has spoken to the devastated parents of Laken Riley, the nursing student butchered and murdered by the illegal invader sneak-in. By the way, I guess, well, okay. I have been told by someone who I believe has some inside information that this is even worse than you think.
Pretty careful.
Yeah, I'm not going to say any more. But, well, it's going to, I mean, the story's there. But again, I mean, get ready to be even more angry, okay? Just be ready to be even more angry than you are right now. Donald Trump talked to the parents, saying he's not going to forget her. And Donald Trump is blasting President Stinkface for never saying her freaking name, even still. He said Donald Trump talked to him, and he said they were described as an incredible young woman. He said the parents are devastated. They're incredible people. This is a Joe Biden invasion, a Biden invasion. I called him Crooked Joe, the most incompetent president we've ever had. The president's, Donald Trump's visit to the border coincided with President Stupid Faces to a different place where there are no migrants and there's a fence up, which means every reporter should say, gee, Mr. President, Joe Stupid Face, we can see that there's a fence here and there's nobody trying to get in. Wouldn't that indicate that fences work? Oh, yeah, golly. No one's going to say that, though. Donald Trump says a beautiful 22-year-old nursing student from Georgia barbarically attacked. She was on a morning run, beautiful young woman. I spoke to her parents, incredible people, devastated beyond belief. She was so beautiful in so many ways. She was brutally assaulted, horrifically beaten, kidnapped, savagely murdered. The monster charged in the death is an illegal alien migrant who was led into our country and released into our communities by Crooked Joe Biden. Trump said he took the name from Hillary because she's no longer relevant. And, of course, he visited Eagle Pass and visited the park where the governor has been really involved in getting people down. Anyway, it's just unbelievable. Does Daily Mail say any more about the war business? I mean, it's true. It's a war. I mean, my God, think about it.
Yeah, it basically saying there's all kinds of criminals from countries all over the world, China, the Congo, all over the place coming over, not just Central and South America, emptying their prisons and mental institutions. These are people that are getting paid. There's probably China behind it at some point to pay for their plane tickets to come across to Central America and then walk over the border.
Yeah. Well, and then you mentioned a little while ago, just in today, the President of the United States and his White House handlers, puppet masters, have now debuted the new term for illegal immigrants, illegal invaders, illegal aliens, illegal sneak-ins arriving in the country are now to be called newcomers. It's like the little girl. You go and move into a new neighborhood, and they have the welcome wagon ladies. Is that what they still have those? I think they still have those. Welcome. Do they have still? I gotta remember the last welcome wagon lady I saw show up at my door. Honestly, when they show up at a door with a basket full of stuff, and it was
they don't have it where I live.
Many years ago. Well, I don't think they probably do it. I mean, it's really true. I was, in fact, I was mowing the lawn, and I was on the side, and the lady pulled up in the driveway. It was 40 years ago, and came up and knocked on the door, and she was the welcome wagon lady, and she said, "Yeah, welcome to the neighborhood," and she gave me certificates and coupons and directions and all. I mean, it was unbelievable. People to call. I wonder whether they still do that. I guess patrons or companies would pay them to give out their coupons and stuff. But it was actually an organization. It was a welcome wagon.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still have those or not. I don't know. Let's see. I just had some more girls. Just sent me some picture over my video of me with my shirt off, laughing and flipping me the bird. Come on, girls. It's a spur of the moment. Give me a break. Anyway, 544. God, 544. I can't believe it. And for the record, the Biden campaign now says if you suggest migrant crime is rising and is responsible for the murder of Laken Riley, you're a racist. And the Athens-Clarke County Sheriff campaigned when he was running for sheriff. He said, I'm not going to cooperate with detainers. I see it as a sheriff's responsibility to protect the community. We can't help with a culture of fear in our community and expect them to respond and help us in situations. Building relationships is the key. If we build fear into the illegals, they're not going to come to us. So he said, we will not be helping the border people with any types of roundups. We will not be contributing to that culture of fear. That was the sheriff who got elected. That's your current sheriff. We know the mayor's already been caught admitting that he wanted to include everybody, no matter whether they're documented or not, into the city of Athens. Outstanding. No comment yet from our two liberal socialist senators. They don't give a crap because they're happy because the border's open. They're getting all these new people. Oh my God. Anyway, hard to believe. Should we play the Podium Princess again, Flounder? You want to do that? I'm going to save a couple minutes for a little Flounder's funny Dan. Well, here's how they feel about it. Here's what she actually said when she on CNN. I'm sorry. Here you go. I'm sorry. My fault. Go ahead. The Podium Princess on CNN asked about the Laken Riley murder.
Again, I mean, this is a horrific loss for any family, and obviously, if whoever is found guilty, we need to make sure that that happens. And obviously, we don't want to see anything happen like that again. But here's the thing: we have done the work.
No, you haven't.
To make sure we're dealing with a broken immigration system. The Republicans have gotten in the way.
No, we haven't.
They have gotten in the way.
Dear God.
And that's what we continue to see over and over and over again. And so, look, this is a serious matter.
I mean, the balls on these people. I mean, seriously, Republicans have gotten in the way.
They called us racist because we wanted a wall built.
To keep out the brown people.
Yeah, exactly.
But to keep out everybody.
Now they're calling us racist so we don't keep talking about this poor girl who got brutally murdered.
Yeah, that's right. And again, we haven't heard anything from President Stupidface. We haven't heard anything from our two U.S. senators. How could they possibly react? Not reacting, even in a ridiculous general way.
They condone it. Yeah. They condone it. They're open border people.
Yeah, they don't give a damn about her.
It's collateral damage for the greater good.
That's exactly the way they're looking at it. Things are going to happen. They just said you can't link immigrants and crime. That's not fair. If you separate immigrants and crime, then you can still have the immigrants, and you're not supposed to react to it. That's how they're getting away with it. Same thing they did with Trump and Russia. They brought that back again. They got away with that link again. So they break this link and think they can just go about their business. Good Lord. I mean, that's kind of hard to believe. Oh, mercy. 557. Tell you what, let's do a little something and have a little fun here before you go, shall we? Flounder with a little something here for the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder show.
But I've been on stage about a minute now, and I haven't been physically escorted off stage, which means by definition, this can't be the worst show that I've ever had. Yeah. Because here's that story. I'm doing some stuff in Atlanta, and I was driving back to Missouri. Now, if you know anything about geography, I have to go across the very western part of Tennessee. As I'm going through there, a guy calls me. It's a comedy booker, and he said, "Hey, I just checked your schedule. Is there any chance you're near such and such Tennessee?" And I punched it up. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm like 20 minutes from there." He said, "That's amazing." He said, "I just had a guy cancel a show on me." He said, "It starts in about an hour." He said, "Why don't you just go by and do the show? Just tell him you're him." Always a good start. They're going to pay you in cash. I'll even bonus you for bailing me out, and then you can go on home. So I get to this gig, and it was for the Tennessee chapter of PETA, the People for Ethical Treatment of Animals. Now, I have just given you a piece of information that I didn't get. So I go up there, I tell my first joke, and ha ha ha, we're off and running. Right now, the whole venue is kind of set up like this. The stage is higher, and it's metal folding chairs, and it's a long rectangle in the front row of these chairs. All these women are holding small dogs. Like, what's the story with these dogs? And they said, "These are our therapy animals." And I said, "I've heard that phrase before, but what exactly does that mean?" And the guy in the back yells out, he goes, "Those are animals that help keep us calm and relaxed." All right. Guy goes, "Do you have a therapy animal?" I was like, "Well, I guess mine's a cow." And he's like, "How is a cow a therapy animal?" I said, "Well, it keeps me calm and relaxed to know I have a freezer full of beef." Physically escorted out the door by two 80-year-olds wearing matching cat sweaters.
Who is that, Flounder?
That is Chad Thornsberg.
He's what a great way to set up his routine.
I'll get some more of him.
That's
for
some information they didn't give me. Anyway, God bless America. Hoorah, soul of the Kimmer. Gotta go, you're killing me. Pete Flounder, see you later at Friday tomorrow, boys. Look out.
The Kimmer Show is back every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. only on WFOM Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. XTRA 106.